Hello. How's it going, everybody? It is I, Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by a amazing crew. Of course, we have Mr. Lane Dashing Dashco. We have Mr. More for your money.
Woo!
And Adam the Goat.
Dugout. It should say dugout. I think
This
that's
Toby
funnier.
McGuire got bit by a spider. See, me, it was a goat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone here knows
that's
that
fully
song.
why. That's fully why it's there. As Jacob sang the lyrics when he changed my my name.
Oh, nah, what's my name? But let's dive right in to the Toronto Maple Leafs because we got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about some NFL, which we're in halftime right now between the 49ers and the Bears, 28-21.
Oh, Jacob, there's something I want to mention. I know we're probably really crazy to mention this, but I saw earlier today on whatever podcast Nick Kiprios does or whatever podcast he was. I don't know if
One
it was
that's not as
today
good as ours, but yes.
or not, but I did see him talk about apparently something about the potential that the Kings would be in on Austin Matthews if the Leafs were to potentially look at trading him over the summer. Apparently, that is a place that would potentially be interested, which I thought was such a weird thing to bring up, given that this season that we're only in January. No, not even in January, in December still. Like we're not even like a couple months from like the season ending. So it is
I
interesting.
don't
Given
get
he
this
said,
whole thing of
typically
like,
he said it was in the summer. He didn't say it in the before the deadline. He said in the summer, which I thought made it more interesting. Given we're
I don't
talking
get
about
this
something
whole
that's
thing
a
of people
couple
still
months away.
talking about Austin Matthews being traded. He's not going anywhere.
Are you not surprised, Jacob? To be honest with you, are you
I
really?
mean,
That
I'm not, unfortunately.
It's Toronto. Of course, that star is being talked about being traded away.
A star was
Yeah.
born in Toronto. But maybe no one knows what I'm talking about. That's okay. It's a song.
No, I'm still confused. Okay, Jacob, you're gonna have to explain it to me.
It's just
Quick
a song where the
explanation.
star's born. It's like a musical.
Oh,
And let's get right to the comment sections. And I don't know if I agree with that the Leafs sucked tonight. I thought they had some moments.
Hi, Wilder. Welcome back to the decks.
Welcome back, Wilder. Always happy to hear from you.
it was a weird game.
I thought the
Weird
overtime was weird too. I don't understand why Max Domi on a 2-on-1 literally did nothing. He didn't get a
even
shot.
out there.
He didn't get a pass. I don't know why he's out there in overtime in general.
Actually, I kind of, no offense, Wilder, but I kind of disagree with that comment. I gotta say, I agree they gotta win. 100% agree with the situations they are to have a win. But I actually thought tonight's game on both sides were very good. And I was afraid it was going to be a bad game because both Detroit and Toronto played last night. They just got off getting wasted on eggnog, you know. I thought they were going to play pretty. So think about it, Get wasted on eggnog and you play back-to-back. I guess it's a tough situation, right? So I thought both teams were going to suck tonight. I thought both teams played very well. I think Dennis Hillaby played very well. I know he had one goal, second goal I wish he had, but besides that, he played very well. Thought Stetcher had a rough game again. I hope Chris Tanev is okay. He got injured. I'm more worried about Chris Tanev than anything. But Robertson played great. Tavares played great. I thought even Captain Underpants played really well. I thought he played really well as well. So I thought Matt was really good.
I want to say that, like, I remember, Jacob, I think it was before Christmas, we had talked about how the stretch of games the Leafs needed to get at least a win in most of these games, like at least the Eastern Conference games. And I think getting a point is better than not getting. Yeah, it's big that B stole a point. But I do want to say, I think if the Leafs were going to lose one of these opening two games, it was good that they at least lost this game in overtime. It's not ideal to lose any of these games, Jacob.
Right.
Because I thought that's what you were just about to say. But like losing this isn't ideal, but getting a point from it, I thought was good. Because losing in 60 minutes, like not getting to overtime and not getting the point would have been worse. Losing outright and not getting a point at all would have been worse than it would have been a worse feeling, I guess. Like especially in this stretch where the Leafs need to get these wins because we're trying to catch up.
Yep.
Getting a point and not losing out on any points in general is better than nothing. But like,
It is, I do
not
agree.
great. They needed to win this game. They needed a win because this was a big division rival. Detroit leads the division. This was a big 2 points, and I think winning these 2 games right after the Christmas break would have been humongous. But
Oh, for sure.
at least we got a point. It's like it doesn't mean anything because they should have won. They played bad, but they still could have won this game. Would have been better to win it, but at least they didn't drop any. Like, they only dropped 1 point, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That's all they dropped out of this game, which was better than dropping all 2 points and getting nothing. But
well, honestly, Adam, I disagree with you because it's like, I look at it like, what do you really want from this team at this point? Like, you want them to just be mediocre the rest of the year and not make the playoffs and lose their pick? I'd rather them just keep losing. Like, honestly, getting these 1 point here, 1 point there.
They're not bad. They're not bad enough to get a top 5 pick, though. That's
Well,
the issue.
guys, you got to remember, with this point tonight,
they're not
they're 2
bad
points to
enough
the
to do
playoff
it.
spot.
Like, I would rather us try and win. Like,
now, Otto, you're saying Detroit's not a great team, but Detroit is leading the division right now, right? Detroit's actually pretty good. But Lane, I want you to continue on.
I don't think Detroit's that great. I don't think they lead the division the whole team.
No, they're not.
I don't care
That's
who's
what
leading
they
the
are right
division the
now.
whole time. I care about who's leading right now. And right now, the Detroit Red Wings are the best team in the Atlantic. There's numbers don't. I'm sick and tired, especially Mr. More for Your Money. He always calls himself Mr. Calculator. Going on these statistics that I can clearly look at. Sure, on paper, Tampa, realistically, they got the best goal differential. They are playing really well. But at the end of the day, who has more points right now? It's Detroit. But Lane, why do you feel, I'm just curious, Lane, on your perspective, like the Leafs are only 2 points out of a playoff spot. Do you just feel like if this team can't win a cup, what's the point? And let's just try to build for next year. Is that more where you're leaning?
Yeah, like honestly, like getting these 1 point here, 1 point there. This team hasn't looked good all year. They look good in spurts. They look good for 1 or 2 games, and they go back to being bad for the next 4 or 5 games. I just don't see it. I don't see the point in trying to get all these points when this team's not that good. Let's be honest. This isn't a good team this year. It's not a cup contending team. We're only 3 points out of getting a top 5 pick right now. We only have an 18% chance of making a playoffs. Why not just lose why not just keep losing, look competitive, and try to get that top 5 pick? We're right there. We're probably going to end up in the 10th as a 10th pick because we keep picking up all these random points.
Yeah, but Lane, I do want to point out that even if we do, so let's say we do that. Let's say the Leafs do that. They suck. They do bad for the rest of the year, Lane. They don't try to get into the playoffs. I'm not saying
don't try, but
no, but okay. So let me continue my point before you cut me off, if you don't mind. But like, let's say the Leafs do what you're saying. They go out and they try and be bad to get to the top 5 to get their pick back. Say they do that, but let's say they lose out and drop. Then what was the point in doing all that? There's always the risk that they drop out of the top 5. Even if they're bad enough, they drop out of the top 5. We lose our pick anyway, and we give Boston a top 10 pick or give Boston a top 15 pick, a second, because we don't have any first round picks until I think it's like 2028, maybe even next decade. Like there's the risk involved in doing that. And like, I understand the intrigue of doing it to try and get our pick back from Boston, and that would be awesome. But there's the risk in giving Boston a good pick. There's the risk in giving Boston 2 top 10 picks next year, especially if Boston like drop off a cliff and they're bad. They get to
for sure, Adam. I get what you're saying.
There's the risk involved there that I don't feel like is worth it. Okay, I feel like it's worth it with the players we have to at least try and get into the playoffs. If they fail, they fail. We don't have our pick anyway, so it doesn't make much of a difference. But Boston gets a less attractive pick at least. They don't get one of the better players in the draft. I would rather that than anything. Like I would rather they try to make the playoffs.
Just to address the comment section here quickly, I do want to say, Wilder, I am projecting Detroit will be a playoff team. I don't think they'll be leading the division by the end of the year, but I do think the 9-year drought will be snapped. And
I agree with that. I can agree with that.
I think
I don't think we use this
it.
team either.
Detroit looks like a good team.
I think the only thing with Detroit and well, I thought it was last year. I thought they underperformed last year. I was so surprised how bad they were last year because I honestly thought they were going to be Ottawa, what Ottawa was last year, which was get into the playoffs. I thought Ottawa was a year ahead of where I thought they would be. I didn't think they would make the playoffs despite having Allmark last year. I didn't think they would make the playoffs because I didn't think their team was ready to make that jump. I thought Detroit was ready to make the jump because of how close Detroit was to making the playoffs. I thought they would make, well, I thought that was 2 years ago, actually, maybe, that Detroit were close to make the playoffs. Like, I thought Detroit would make the jump, finally would make the jump last year and make the playoffs, but they didn't. I don't think this team is better than they were last year or any other of the last. I don't think they're much better. I think still goaltending's a little bit of an issue because oh my gosh, what's his name?
Gibson's not looking that great. But Talbot, say what you want about Cam Talbot. His numbers are really nothing crazy.
Yeah, but Gibson,
what Cam Talbot does, he makes the saves enough to win you games.
Yeah, but Jacob Gibson needs to be better if they're going to make the playoffs. Gibson,
I don't agree. I honestly think they can run on Cam Talbot. I think he can be your guy.
I have a gas or ass.
I
have a gas or ass, Mr. Jacob.
Oh. Dan gets to see the donkey butt. Yeah. Or is it ass?
Gas or ass? The Edmonton Oilers made a franchise mistake getting rid of Cam Talbot when they did.
I'm gas. 1,000% gas.
When did they get rid of Cam Talbot? When did they lose him? I don't even remember. I don't remember when they had
I'll look it up for you.
2023, yes. I think.
They had him that recently.
That's a good one, Lane. And I agree with Jacob. I think Detroit.
How old is Cam Talbot?
I think Detroit won't win the division, but I actually see Detroit making the playoffs in a wild card position.
The Oilers got rid of his last year in Edmonton was 2019.
Okay, how old is he now?
He is now 38.
I thought it was longer.
He's 30?
38.
30. Okay.
But I
asked for that. I asked for that because that differs my opinion of this.
But hold on for a sec though. Look at Cam Talbot's stats in 23-24. Okay, so Cam, which was one of the years Edmonton made a push. In the regular season, 23-24, he had a 2.50 goals against average, a .913 save percentage, and he had 2 shutouts. Picture Edmonton getting that kind of goaltending. They probably win their cup.
Yeah, for sure.
And Cam Talbot, if you look at all the years previously, for the most part, every year was pretty solid. Last year for Detroit, 901 save percentage, 2.93 goals against average. Year before for LA, we went over those numbers. Year before in Ottawa, 898 save percentage, 2.93 goals against average. However, more wins than losses.
Yeah.
Year before that in Minnesota, 2.76 goals against average, 9.11 save percentage, 3 shutouts. Year again in Minnesota, 915 save percentage, 2.63 goals against average, 2 shutouts. Year before that in Calgary, 9.19 save percentage, a 2.63 goals against average. Okay, he had a bad year in Philly when he got traded to Philly in 2018, 2019.
But everyone has a bad year.
But you have to look at it. He only had, since Edmonton got rid of him, he's only had 1 season where he was under a 900 save percentage, and he still had a winning record.
Yeah. 100%.
Say what you want about Cam Talbot. Even now, his stats are nothing great at the year at the moment. 887 save percentage and 3 goals against average. But 17 starts, 10 wins. Yeah. Like, it's kind of hard to argue with those numbers. And I think Detroit is one of those teams. I still think they're missing pieces to go on a cup run. I don't think they're under by any means, but I think Cam Talbot's good enough, and I think the team is good enough to get into the playoffs.
Wait, so Lane, what was
and then get booted out first
exactly again?
Just that they never should have got rid of him, because like when they had him, he was a fantastic goalie. If you look at when he was there on Edmonton, his numbers were so good, and then ever since they've been trying to find a good goalie, right? Like Stuart Skinner, now Jar. They never found a goalie to replace. They haven't found a goalie as good as him.
I will say I'm gonna say ass for this, and I'm gonna say it because I don't think Talbot being in there, whether if it's like if they still get Stuart Skinner, if Skinner and Talbot are there, let's say, I don't think that greatly changes anything Edmonton, like how they perform. Because let's go 1920. Let's go through the last couple of years of their playoffs. So lost in the qualifying round. They weren't great that year. They were good that year, sorry, but they were rough. And then 2021, so that was the first full year, I think. That was the year of the Canadian division, if I'm not mistaken. They lost in the first round. They were good, but they weren't amazing that year. Lost in the conference finals in 21-22. Better year. Last year of Tippett being there. And then they lost. And then they went all the way back down to being in the second round with Woodcroft. His first year. Fires Woodcroft and then makes or maybe they still had Woodcroft the year they went to the finals the first time. Again, I don't think having another goalie changes that, because I think Florida I think Florida would.
I don't know, Adam. I look at that series against Florida, and I think if you had better than serviceable goaltending in each of those years, Stuart Skinner was okay, but I'm sorry, Cam Talbot, even now, I would still say now Cam Talbot's a better goalie than Stuart Skinner.
But Jacob, I could say Stuart Skinner is the reason they got to Game 7 that first year.
Sure.
He was the reason because he won them the next 2 games.
He did.
In a row to turn that series on its head.
If everyone is going to say in Edmonton, look, you have to look at it. They kept the entire core except Stuart Skinner. And then I'll get to you, Dan. They kept the entire core except Stuart Skinner. So if you're going to say Stuart Skinner was the problem, you have to look at the goalie you had before him as a legitimate starter. Cam Talbot statistically is a better goalie than Stuart Skinner with more experience and a guy that can just make the big saves in the big moment. But Dan, go ahead with your point. You've been very quiet. It kind of scares me when Dan's quiet.
I'm thinking these teams coming out my ears. Like I got 2 points to make here.
2 points.
Yeah, literally. Number one. Well, I think we all can agree Calvin Pecker's not an NHL caliber goalie this year. I think we can all agree with that. And for the most part of his career in Edmonton. So I'm thinking, instead of saying, what if Stuart or Talbot, why not keep both? Edmonton drafted Stuart Skinner. We had Cam Talbot before. Have Cam Talbot, keep him, draft Skinner, have Skinner as your backup. And the thing is, when Talbot was in Edmonton, I agree, his numbers were not the best. But Edmonton wasn't as good of a team back then as they are now. So if you had Talbot playing in that system with all the all-star power now, and have a young Stuart Skinner as a backup, I think that's a phenomenal goaltending battle tandem with those two. That doesn't cost you a heck of a lot of money. And yeah, I know. Eh?
I personally, sorry, Dan, you can keep going, and then I'll say my point.
Okay. So I wanted to add to Lane's point about tanking for the draft. I don't know if this draft class is good enough for tank. I mean, Gavin McKenna, like him or lump him or whatever, like, I know he's playing NCAAs, he's playing adults, I don't really know what his stats are going to be like, but you look at him as World Juniors, yeah, he's got a couple of assists, that's fine and dandy, but he's not dominating. Even Matthews, when he played in World Juniors, he dominated. Nylander played in World Juniors and dominated. Connor McDavid, Connor Bedard, Sidney Crosby, they all dominant. And McKenna hasn't had that dominating moment yet. Even Mitch Marner played well in World Juniors. They're like, okay, it's worth tanking and get these guys. I don't think McKenna or anyone on this team is good enough to really tank for.
Well, for me, it's not even that they're not good enough to tank for. As Adam said, it's not like you're guaranteed to get a top 5 pick. So if you tank, I just don't think I would tank without guaranteeing that I'm going to get a pick out of it. Because what if you tank and you get the 6th pick?
Well, that's what I'm saying,
Boston a really good pick. And again, I understand us as Leaf fans, and I do agree. Hildeby, the OT situation, it's one of those things. If it works, everyone's going on. He's a god. If it doesn't work, he's an idiot. It's kind of like
I don't blame him, Willie.
And honestly, I've argued this too. Imagine if the Oilers had Woll and the Beast. If they, I've argued so many times if Edmonton had Joseph Woll, they'd already have a Stanley Cup by now with Dan. But
God wonder.
I just want to look at the standings with you,
Jacob,
lovely people.
I do want to make my point quickly.
Yeah, Adam's got to make a point.
So I do want to say that I think so. A big reason I said as well as like I don't think really anything changes. I think Edmonton's problems. And I think it doesn't get addressed enough because I think goaltending gets brought up a lot. And then that's like the big discussion with Edmonton.
Mhm.
And I think it's more prevalent in the last couple of years for sure, in my opinion, is that goaltending isn't the only issue, but I think it's the only issue everybody wants, that everybody seems to focus directly on. I don't think keeping Talbot changes anything for Edmonton, because a big issue with them is that you'll have to ride your two best players, but they ride and trust in their two best players too much, and it has killed them the last two runs.
True.
Because those two haven't shown up enough. They have shown up, but they haven't done it enough. And I don't think that if you look at like all the Stanley Cup winners for like at least the last decade, they've all had trustworthy like bottom sixes that have played and have shown up for them, heavily shown up for them. Edmonton have not had that in the last two Stanley Cup finals.
Mhm.
I don't think goaltending is the only reason they've lost them, but it is a big reason why they've lost them. But it's prevalent this year. They do not trust their bottom six. They will not go far in the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. They've been lucky to go as far as they have been the last 2 years.
Mhm.
I don't think that team was good enough to make the Stanley Cup finals last 2 years. That's why I never predicted them to go very far. And I don't think it's another issue that I don't think Edmonton are going to address, because the big issue everybody continues to bring up is their goaltending, but it is not the only issue with the Edmonton Oilers. And magically having Cam Talbot and magically having another goalie outside of Stuart Skinner is not going to fix their issues. And it's not going to go away anytime soon for them. It's going to need to be fixed at some point. If people keep ignoring it, the problem's only going to get worse.
I will say, too, I think Edmonton, I'd argue even a bigger problem than just their goaltending is also their defense. When you're paying Nurse and Bouchard over $20 million and neither one of them are very good at defense, it's a problem. And to not have the awareness to let go of a guy like Troy Stetcher for nothing. And I know Dan laughs at me because I talk about Troy Stetcher so much, but I mean, for what you pay him and what he gives you, he's the best bang for your buck defenseman in the NHL. I agree. Edmonton let him go for absolutely nothing. It just shows they're lacking awareness, I think, in what their team. Oh, Dan, quick question. Is this the legendary can of Mountain Dew that you've been nursing for 3 days?
No.
But I want to take a look at the NHL standings here. So I'm going to put them right up on your screen for you because I'm such a nice guy. Oh. So we all panic, right? I mean, Montreal got a big point today against Tampa, which is not something we don't.
That was impressive.
Crazy game. But you look, so Detroit and Carolina have the same amount of points right now. Mind you, Carolina's done it in 3 less games, and the goal differential was a lot better. But
doesn't
still,
say Detroit's not the real.
And then you start to panic because you look, where's Toronto? And Toronto's all the way down here at night. So everyone's panicking. I'd like you to look at the point total for Toronto. That says 40.
Yeah.
I would like you to look at the point total for the Florida Panthers, who hold on to the wild card spot. That says 42.
Yeah.
Even the Columbus Blue Jackets, for the worst team in the East, are 4 points out of a playoff spot. The East is so damn tight.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll know the East playoffs, who's in and who's out, until the final day of the season. Where the West,
I can see it.
It's a very different story. Like, we know Colorado's dominating, right?
Yes.
We know Colorado and Dallas, no brainer. The Pacific, we don't really know where everyone's going to finish. I mean, Edmonton could still not make the playoffs. They're only 5 points ahead of San Jose.
Yeah.
When you're looking at the playoff race. But then you look, so like the worst team in the West only has 33 points in Vancouver, right? And then you have like Chicago with 34. If Toronto was in the West, they would be in the playoffs right now.
Correct.
So all I'm getting at is the Leafs aren't as bad as what people are hitting the panic button, and even people in Chicago hitting the panic button. You're 5 points out and Connor Bedard's injured. As soon as Connor Bedard's back, you're flying back up in the standings. The bigger concern is Winnipeg, who have continued to plummet with Hellebuck back.
Yeah,
that's the bigger concern, in my opinion, because you have your star player back in the lineup, and you still suck.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Like, I would argue Winnipeg, the difference is the media in Winnipeg, and it's fine to say this. Where did we all go? Hello. It's fine to say the media in Winnipeg don't over explain Winnipeg Jets wins and losses and ties and overtimes and all these. No, there's no ties in the NHL, but you know what I mean. Where in Toronto, and I'm not even blaming anyone. Leaf fans are super passionate. We dissect everything. We are like that anxious high school kid who thinks about every single thing they did when they go to bed. That's Leaf Nation. And I do agree, Wilder. Maybe I am just trying to hold on to some hope. And maybe I am going to be hitting myself with a badminton racket for a minute and a half straight. I don't know. Maybe Lane is going to have to wear an Argo hat. We'll see if hope is a plan or not. But I just feel Toronto, we're hitting the panic button a little too early, where I look at more teams like Winnipeg. Winnipeg is behind Calgary, Nashville, Seattle, St. Louis, and Utah. Name me a good team out of those teams that Winnipeg's behind.
Yeah,
Wait, say it again, Jacob.
Winnipeg is behind Calgary, Nashville, Seattle, St. Louis, and Utah before they even get into a wild card spot.
And name a good team that they're
Name
behind.
me a team that you thought going into the year would be better than Winnipeg.
That I thought were going to be better than Utah.
They're going to be
None
better
of
than
them.
Winnipeg. Name me a team that you thought would be better than Winnipeg.
Is it out of those teams or any team?
Out of those teams.
None of them then, because Edmonton, Winnipeg were just so good last year. I don't think anybody expected anybody ahead of them.
Oh, that's my point. Everyone is completely getting all discombobulated over Toronto being where they are. Well, I'm looking at Winnipeg and no one's talking about it. They've only won 2 of their last 10.
I
suck.
called it.
They're terrible.
Jacob, you know why they're not talking about them.
Well, I
Because
do know,
everybody's
because
talking about Toronto, and
I
everybody's
will be
panicking
honest
about
too. In Winnipeg,
Toronto.
nobody gives a crap about the
Like-
Jets. Nobody cares about the Jets in Winnipeg. It is football and nothing else in Winnipeg. People can argue with me all they want. The Blue Bombers sell out every single night. The Winnipeg Jets don't.
I called it with Winnipeg like when the offseason happened. I have no idea why they didn't hand Nikolai Ehlers $8.5 million. I understand if they didn't give Nikolai Ehlers $8.5 million and got a true number 2 center. But the point is they didn't. They got Jonathan Taves that hasn't played in 3 years. I think Jonathan Taves was a good signing, but I thought he would have been better than what he is. But I could see him as like a 4th, 3rd line center, not a true number 2 at this point in his adult life. Then they got him, then they didn't do anything else. And yeah, Vladdy's playing phenomenal on that top line. But now you got no one really on the second line. And you really needed Nikolai Ehlers on this team. And I get Nikolai Ehlers is struggling in Carolina, but I think $8.5 million is not unreasonable considering how crazy the market was. And I think it would have been a lot better with him in Winnipeg. Because, yeah, I know he's struggling in Carolina, but imagine he's still in Winnipeg with his same line mates. It guarantees a point-a-game player. And he had all those goals that Winnipeg has. They probably won a lot more games and were in the playoff spot. I don't understand for the life of me. It's kind of like, I'm not going to get into it too much. It's like Mitch Marner when he plays Mitch Marner a 3rd line center. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Stop making excuses about that because the Leafs have
I
more
do
than
want
enough
to point out, though, like Nikolai Ehlers, for how good he is, I do want to point out
Yeah, he's lost.
that he did have he had in his last 4 or 5 seasons there, he had 55 and 62, 38 in 45 games in what was a non-COVID year. He had 61 and 82, 63 and 69 last year. Like I could understand why they released him just because he has had injury issues in his career. Prior to 3 years ago, he's had 3 seasons in which he has completed 80 plus games. He of course had those 2 years affected by COVID, of course, but like he's never, outside of that, the highest total he's hit outside of those 3 years is 72 games. And it's like, I guess I could understand the risk Winnipeg did not want to take with giving him the money that he wanted because of his injury history. And I think that's a big thing you have to take into account is his injury history. Like I think Carolina just thought they could avoid the risk. Like I think they just thought they were so talented. They're very talented. So I think they could deal with the risk more than Winnipeg thought they could. Maybe Winnipeg made a miscalculation, but I don't think Winnipeg, you can't just say Winnipeg made a big mistake because I think they looked at his injury history and they're like, they didn't think it was worth it to bring him back on $8.5 million. Whether he would have taken less to stay there is up for debate. I don't think so.
I don't think he would have. No. I
I
think he would have won 8.5 for sure.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't think Winnipeg thought it was worth it due to the injury history that he's had. And I just thought it was worth it to bring it up that he has dealt with
for sure. That's a great point.
Quickly,
his-
quickly, everyone. Sorry, hold on. I do want to point out we have a new poll in the YouTube side of the stream. Who is the bigger letdown this season? Leafs, Jets, or Senators?
Whoa.
I threw the Senators in there. Made the playoffs last year. Currently
Ooh.
sitting outside. With getting mediocre goaltending across. I mean, no disrespect to Omar. Hopefully everything's okay with his personal situation.
I was just about to bring that up. I was like,
Yeah.
I did want to send best wishes to.
100% best
moment.
wishes. Yeah.
Because he's dealing with some stuff that we of course have no business knowing about. But
absolutely, it's none of our business. But obviously, everyone at the analyst desk wishes him all the best.
100%.
But guys, feel free. Currently, we're 50-50 split between the Leafs and the Senators. No one has voted for the Jets, which is a surprise.
I mean, just to add to Sam's comment here, I'm actually got the NFL score open on my other desktop, and I've been watching it as we've been talking here. Yeah,
I'm literally watching the game on my phone. That's why I keep looking down.
I know. It's been
really
that good of a game. It's like, it's that good of a game. It's been phenomenal. So thank you, Sam, for the updates.
It seems like that game, I think it's going to be whoever has the ball last.
Yeah, literally, I think so.
Like, it's just neither defense seems to be able to stop anything. But remember, guys, that poll will be open throughout the show. So please,
San Francisco just scored.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, Jusek, whatever you say his name, I think just scored.
But
I thought the Bills and Eagles would be in game in the weekend. I gotta admit, it was a good finish
to the fourth quarter.
But this 49ers of Chicago is the best game of the weekend.
Oh yeah, no, it's been amazing so far.
But I do want to come back to Wilder's point. I have it somewhere. Here we go. And he said, and just to bring this point up back in the comments, last 10 games will decide the playoffs for the Leafs. And I actually don't disagree with this.
I think that's everybody. Like everybody will get decided in the last 10 games. The standings are too close. I think that's like a good comment for but like that could be for everybody. I think as well. You could say is that I think things are so tight.
At what's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make that a bit bigger for everyone. I know Dan doesn't have the best eyesight. I'm just kidding. Dan actually has phenomenal eyesight.
I've had hearing, but great eyesight.
But the Leafs play the Devils on the 30th, and then they play the Jets on the 1st. Happy New Year. Hopefully they're not too hungover.
Mm-hmm.
Then they play the Islanders, Panthers, Flyers. Before we move on to the next ones, I want to look at these 5. Out of these 5, do you think it's fair to say 3 wins bare minimum? And maybe
bare minimum.
4?
Well, I think the next 3 are all winnable games. I think the Devils, Jets, and Islanders are all winnable.
I agree with Adam, they're all winnable, but I don't agree with Dan that you need to win all 5. So I think if you lose to the Jets, that's not a huge issue.
Well,
and you have to beat the Panthers. Out of these ones, if one of them you cannot lose, January 6th, you cannot lose to the Florida Panthers.
I agree.
I do want to point out, though, that January 3rd game could be a lot easier, especially if Matthew Barzal suspended for what he. I don't think he will be suspended for what he did.
Oh, he'll be back by then.
If he does get suspended, that game gets easier just having no Matthew Barzal to deal with. But there's no way he gets suspended for that.
I think if anything, Marchment should be the one being suspended.
He hit him. He like barely hit him in his feet. I don't understand if he gets a long suspension. I would be upset.
Get a fine.
Yeah, like there's no way you could give that, given he barely hit him in the feet and Marchment just dove.
I don't know. I don't like what Marchment did doing that to a Wookiee. It's like,
but Marchment also dived at the.
No, I think Dan's more speaking to the hit on Matthew Schaefer.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking.
No, well, Marchment targeted Schaefer 3 times in that game. Like it wasn't just the one thing that he did. He tried to hit Schaefer 3 times throughout that game.
Yeah, he did.
Mason Marchment deserved a lot more than what he got.
Oh, I agree.
He deserved a lot more, and he's gonna get more the next time those 2 teams play.
Yeah, I guarantee.
Marchment's gonna have to watch out next time those 2 teams play.
It's nice he's back in the East. I wish the Leafs got Mason Marchment. I love him.
But
he can't do what he did though.
No,
go ahead. I could see you want to jump in on that topic.
Well, apparently Mason Marchment was put the Leafs on his no trade list.
I'm not surprised by that. And nobody should be surprised by that.
No,
I'm not. Given the way things ended, I'm not exactly surprised he didn't want to come back to Toronto. I'm not that surprised. I don't think anybody should really be surprised by that.
Dan is shocked.
Here's the bigger problem of that situation.
Look at Dan. Look how shocked he is.
Here's the biggest problem of this situation, okay? Not so much that Marsman put the Leafs on don't trade us. Let's be full transparency here. And no disrespect to Mason Marsman. I love you. I love your dad, Brian Marsman, one of the best true heavyweight hitters back early 2000. Love you guys. But Mason Marsman at best is what, a third-line player?
Yeah.
Since when we're giving third-line player a no-trade move list?
Yeah.
Let's be honest here. We're not talking about Connor McDavid being traded.
Yeah.
You know, like, what's going on? We're just going to give every fourth-line player. The only time I understand is, let's say, when George Lark wanted to stay in Edmonton, and he said he would stay in Edmonton for a league minimum just as long he got no trade clause. That I understand. But Marsman got $4.5 million, which I think is a little high for the skill level that he is. And he got a no trade clause. It's like, who is Doofus giving him this contract?
But
Like,
Dan, you have nothing but love for him, right?
I do love him, 100%.
That's why it's in your name. He's
Oh,
No,
since we're-
see
I
that.
know this is not at all what we're talking about, but if we're gonna talk about, like, I guess we're still talking about hockey. I saw earlier a video of Wendell Clark talking about the '93 playoffs
Yeah.
and how in the series against Detroit he was told not to fight Probert. He was told not to fight Probert at all in that series. He wasn't allowed to fight him, which makes sense. Probert was one of the scariest
Oh, he was a tank.
guys in the league. Makes sense that that you wouldn't want Wendell Clark fighting Bob Probert
Right.
at all. But so, and then he brought up in that LA series when Gilmore got hit by McSorley, Clark wished that he didn't fight McSorley, but wished that he went over and punched Wayne Gretzky after that hit. He went over and punched Gretzky, the guy who scored 9 points in the final 2 games of that series, instead of fighting McSorley in that game, which I thought was a pretty funny story. I thought that was cool for him to look back at that and be like, I wish I went to go over to punch the best player in all. Like, I think that's pretty funny to think about.
That is what he claimed.
You know what? I kind of want to finish off.
That was a funny story.
It is a
was.
funny story. I just honestly, guys, using sound effects one of my favorite things at the back end of this.
I can tell, Jacob, since you use it so much.
Yeah,
But I
that's
wanna
something to the
look at
show. I
now-
like it.
It's interesting though. So Lane said he felt out of those first 5, all of them are must wins. Adam felt they were all winnable. And looking
I
at
said the
their
first
next
3 were winnable.
their next games, I'm starting to see why Lane especially said those next 5 are all must wins, because
Yeah.
you're probably not beating the Avalanche.
No.
Definitely, I don't think so.
You're probably not beating the Wild. Hate to say it, you're
Vegas.
probably not beating the Golden Knights.
Whoa.
So out of these next 6, so this is 11 games, you might only win 3 of these. Going
Right.
6 of your next 11 is not good enough.
No.
So when we look at that first 5, feeling like now you got to win 4, if not 5 of them, feels more because like you're
That's
not
what Lane
beating
and I are
Colorado.
saying.
Okay,
You're probably not
hey,
beating
Jacob.
Vegas. You're not
Jacob.
beating Minnesota. You'll probably beat Winnipeg. Utah. Actually, you know what? The Leafs usually don't match up well against Utah.
No.
Jacob,
So let's
I
say
do wanna say
hypothetically they
something.
only win 2 out of these 6, and you only win 3 out of those 5. You're in a lot of trouble.
Well,
So I look at the 5 up here that we were looking at previously between Devils, Jets, Islanders, Panthers, and Flyers. This is a much easier run of games.
So
Like,
Jacob,
let's just
well
keep it a
here.
buck. This is an easier
Jacob?
run of games.
I do want to say though, if we're talking about the Leafs being 2 points out of the playoff spot, and now we're talking about, I know it's getting to the point now where like you have to start looking at games like they have to be like their must wins. But I'm like, if we're 2 points out of the playoffs, like you've brought up multiple times, and then now we're saying all these games are must wins because you can't win a bunch of other games later in January. It's like you're looking at it, and now we're just like pushing where they got to win so many games in a row or we're not going to make the playoffs at all. But it's like you got to win, like even if they're non-winnable games, you got to win the games that you have on your schedule. Like Vegas is not indestructible. Same thing, Colorado, despite how good they've been this season, it's not like you can't beat It's not like Colorado's unbeatable. They've been beaten this season.
Adam,
Yeah,
they've
but-
lost 9 games this year, and 7 of them are in
So
overtime.
they've lost 9 games. Cool
We've
that
lost
they
21.
haven't lost very often.
21.
But they've lost, Jacob, they've lost 9 games.
I get
They've
that, but
lost
what I'm
9
saying is their winning percentage is 851. Toronto's winning percentage is 526. The
Cool.
chances of you, and I understand, Adam, you got to win the games on your schedule, but
They're still winnable. They're
realistically,
still beatable.
you look at the games that the teams are either below them in the standings or at par. You absolutely have to win those games because, for example, Detroit plays Ottawa 4 times in the second half of the season. So out of those games, someone's getting points. Someone's getting a lot of points, right?
But Jacob, do you know where I'm coming from though? when
I
I'm
do get
saying
what
that?
you're saying,
Like,
and I
But
understand
if the Leafs
it.
are going to be a playoff team, they gotta beat the best.
I don't
teams
think
in
that.
the
I don't
NHL.
think this is a cup winning team, though. I think this
No,
is a
but I'm
playoff
not
team.
saying
I don't
cup.
see this
I
team winning
didn't
a
say
cup.
cup. I said if
I
they were going to be a
understand that,
You can
playoff
beat those
team,
teams.
they have to beat the best teams in hockey.
I
So
just
they
don't
got to
think they
beat
can do it.
Colorado.
But
You
there's
can't just
okay.
beat the
You're
lower
telling me
teams.
though, if Toronto and Colorado faced off in the playoffs in the Stanley Cup Finals, you think Toronto would win?
I think no. I
Nebraska.
never said that. I said if Toronto is going to be a playoff team, I never said they're going to win the cup. I said they're going to be a playoff team. I'm saying if they're going to be a playoff team, they have to beat the best. Colorado's the best. Colorado's lost 9 games this year. Colorado is not an unbeatable juggernaut.
True.
And I'm not going to say, if we're going to say that they got to beat all of these other teams, well, they got to be, like, if they want to be taken seriously, and whether or not they're a cup contending team is beyond what I care about at this point, because I want this team to make the playoffs. I really care if they're cup,
Why?
if they're Lane, just let me finish what I'm going to say. I don't care if they're not cup contenders. I want them to make the playoffs because missing the playoffs after being in it for 9 straight years is just as embarrassing as being bounced in the first round, in my opinion. So I
Which
want them to
more
make the playoffs. And if they're going to make the playoffs, they got to beat Colorado. I'm not going to say they got to win all these other games. And then, oh yeah, well, they're not going to beat Colorado. So what does it matter? They got to beat Colorado. I don't care if they lose to the Islanders. Beat Colorado. Beat a really good team. Prove to me that you care. That's what I care about.
I don't care because Colorado's in the West.
Yeah,
No, but I
it's
kinda
still
get
like,
Adam's
it'd be cool to
point.
beat them. It'd be
I've
cool
gotta
to
get
beat
that.
them.
I mean,
point.
I'm so confused why you just want them. Why the bare minimum is just get to the playoffs.
Well, at this point in the
Because
season, that's where we're at.
It's been this bad. I don't like they've been to the playoffs 9 straight years. If they miss the playoffs, like that sucks to miss the playoffs. It sucks as much
That was
in the
creepy.
first round because you just missed out on 7 games of playoffs. Like I would rather they make
That's
the
creepy.
playoffs at least. Like I would rather they do that and me being able to watch my team for 7 games longer than missing out on the playoffs for the first time in a decade. Like I don't want to miss out on the playoffs. Like I don't want this team to miss out on the playoffs after making it for 9 straight years. Like losing in the first or second round sucks. At least we made the playoffs. I'd rather that than going back to what we were for 4 straight years and before that even longer. Like just missing the playoffs because we suck.
And I will say,
I
any
don't wanna
team
go
that makes
back
the
to that.
playoffs has a chance of winning the cup. Like
I
whether
got-
I think this
Especially
team
with
can
no
win or
first
not.
round pick. I would rather us make the playoffs because we have no first round pick. There's nothing else.
It would be a
There's no
terrible
debate
year
about
to
it.
make it.
You either suck and you're bad enough to be top 5 and get your pick back, or you make the playoffs. There's no in
That's
between.
what I said. That's what I said earlier, though.
Yeah, there's no in between. So they got to make the
You did.
playoffs and they got to beat.
But then
all
you,
these
but then
teams.
you can't lose that point. My point, Adam, was then you can't lose that point tonight.
Yeah.
If you,
Okay,
that's
yeah,
what
but
you,
then-
Adam. And let me finish. Now, let me say what I want
Okay,
to say.
I'm gonna let you finish.
If that's what you want so very badly, then you can't lose that point tonight. You can't pick and choose and say, well, it's okay if we get a point tonight, but not okay if we get a point against Colorado. Well, it's okay if we get a point against Minnesota, but we don't get a point against. No, if you want so badly to make the playoffs, and that's in your heart, in your soul, in your living room with your microphone, with your new camera, that's what you want, the Leafs to make the playoffs, then you freaking have to get that extra point tonight. And the fact that you didn't, you should be more pissed off because every time you give up a point, you're just making it worse for yourself. I don't care if they're 2 points here,
That's true.
3 points here. Right now, you have an 18% chance to make the playoffs right now of the schedule that you have left and the rest of the team. You are literally right now, the Leafs have one of the worst chances to make the postseason. So you either pick up the points, you get those extra points when you face a Detroit in overtime, when you play a Colorado, when you play a Boston, when you play an Alton. You either kept the points or you don't get the points. Getting 1 point in the middle of December when your playoffs are already looking bad isn't much better than losing the game.
No, so what I said, I never said I wasn't mad that they didn't win tonight. Like I said, it's better than I said
I don't
earlier.
think it is though.
No, but
Based off what you're saying, I don't think it is.
What I said earlier in the show was that losing the game, if you were going to lose the game, at least getting the point it's better than not getting any. If they got no points, that would have been 10 times worse. It's not good losing the game. I don't like that they lost this game because they were bad and they shouldn't have even been in this game, but they were in this game. They could have won this game. They didn't win this game, but at least they got a point. If they didn't get any points, that's so much worse. You at least didn't drop all the points.
I know, but
that's all. That's what I thought of this game, at least.
Fair enough.
At least they got the point. Like getting points is good.
Whoa!
Yeah, but
I think what Lane's saying, Lane. If you
Football
don't
games tied, bro.
If you don't, no, not tied. Yeah, they got to hit the extra point. But I think the thing to Lane's point is, if you're saying they got to beat all these teams, they got to beat Colorado. We should be pissed off that they lost to Detroit. And I have to say, I am frustrated that they lost to Detroit. Adam, I think you are too. This is what I find really funny, and I don't know if Dan agrees. I think you two, Adam and Lane, are closer to the same points than you realize.
But Jacob, I like
both.
Like what I was saying was that I'm not pissed off. Like Lane had said that I should be more pissed off. I never said I wasn't pissed off.
No, but like you're saying,
this football game is amazing.
Here's what I don't get. What I don't understand is you're saying you want them to make the playoff, but if they finish 1 point out, you're going to be upset with them, right? If they don't make it, no, hold on. What I'm asking,
the 49ers go for 2.
Adam, I'm just asking, so I'm curious. If we get down to game 82 and they miss the playoffs by 1 point, are you going to be upset? Yes,
why
right?
would I be upset? Yeah,
no, I'm just saying you're going to be pissed off, right?
Yeah, but then I could have before you get to your next point, because if it's going to be about being more pissed off about this game, I could be more upset about a ton of results this year.
No, I know. No, that's not what I'm saying. But you said you had to be bad enough to. I'm saying if I'm looking at the point this season right now, I would rather just be bad. We're already bad. We're not great. Us making the playoffs is going to be an uphill climb based off of everything you look at, all the statistics, all the percentages. The Leafs making the playoffs is it's not quite impossible, but it's not probable.
Getting there.
It's getting to a point where every time they give up 1 point here, 1 point there, they let in one goal more. Every time they do that, it gets worse. Even losing tonight, they probably put their playoff percentage from 18 to 17.8. My point is, okay, fine. Yeah, you're right. As a fan watching the games, of course you want your team to get the points. But I'm saying at this point in the season, would it not just be better because we're already dug ourselves the hole? We've already been digging this hole. Might as well just keep digging the hole, try to get that top 5 pick. Because if you keep losing, you will get there. You still got 40 games. You could trade off assets, try to get what you get for Domi. You can't trade the top end guy, but you can trade Domi. You can trade Lorentz. You can trade Luddens. You can trade McCabe's. You can get things. You can get draft picks to make yourself better for next year. You don't have to blow up the whole franchise. You can retool to center guys around for next year, knowing that this year was kind of a miss. You can do a 1-year turnaround. Maybe that's what you got to do, saying, we're not going to make the playoffs.
Why do Max Domi have a 13 no trade clause?
Yeah, I think my point
is the problem, and everyone says blow the Leafs up, and I don't mean to interrupt.
And that's
but just, when you're saying, and Lane, I actually totally get where you're coming from. Adam, I totally get where you're coming from. I'm going to come from Dr. Realism. Dr. Realism is everyone is in these contracts you can't move, which is so bloody frustrating. That between Tree Living and Dubas, we don't have a GM with at least 2 brain cells. Why the hell does Max Domi have a partial no move clause? He is a 4th line player on a Stanley Cup winning team. He is a 3rd line player on a decent team. Toronto, he is a top line player because we're stupid. And you can't trade Max Domi. You can't trade Austin Matthews. You can't trade William Nylander. You can't trade Morgan Riley. You probably how much you want to bet if I start looking through all the contracts, almost every player has at least a partial no move.
Well, let's look
at it.
Damon's
going to put me off there for a second.
No. I like to say about this football game.
You have to make this team try to work because there's nothing. If you wait an extra year, you can't train Anthony Stolarz because you gave him a partial no move.
I wanted to add as well, Seattle Seattle just beat Philadelphia 4-1.
You know what?
And
Good
my
for you.
issue with the Leafs, with them making the playoffs, Lane's right. They only have about 18% making the playoffs. I think the issue is not because of their play, but because of all the teams they have to beat. Like Jacob asked about Winnipeg. You look at Toronto's way to making the playoffs. Now Toronto is behind Boston, Ottawa, Buffalo, they don't count, Florida, Montreal, Tampa. Like those are all very, very, very good teams. They have to get in front just to get into a playoff spot. Do you really see them getting in front of all these teams? That window is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And we said Craig Berube did it with St. Louis, and Craig Berube got them to the Stanley Cup. Yeah, but he got them in January. January is when they did the turnaround. Here we are, December 28th. We're almost in January, and we're still giving up points to a Lane's play. If we're still giving up points,
yeah. And just to further into the point, the Leafs have 13 roster players with at least partial, if not full.
I've got it here, Jacob, if you want to show it.
Oh, okay, so Lane has it. Sorry, Lane, I was looking at it. I didn't think share on the screen like the smart lad you are.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so you look. You have, let's start right off the top. Austin Matthews, no move.
Can't trade.
Can't trade. William Nylander cannot be traded. John Tavares cannot be traded.
Actually, that's not true.
Can trade?
That's not true.
John Tavares has no move.
No, modified.
According to Puckpedia, he's got a no move.
13. No, it's only 13. It says right here.
No, Max Domi has 13.
Max Domi has a no modified.
They both do.
Domi, not Tavares. Tavares.
No, Tavares, no movement. Go up one lane.
Matthew Knives.
You're right. Sorry about that.
That's okay. You know what? You're allowed to make a mistake.
Well, Matthew
Knives. 12
Knives has no protection.
No trade.
Okay,
Cali Yarncrow. 10-team no trade.
Why?
Morgan Riley.
You can still trade some of these guys. Unmodified doesn't mean you can't trade them. You just can't trade them to certain teams.
But it makes it a lot harder.
It makes the value go down.
Jake McCabe, complete no move. Chris Tanev, complete no move. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, 16-team no trade list. Brandon Carlo, 8-team no trade list. Anthony Stolarz, 8 teams this year, 16 teams next year. The Leafs are in hell because they are not good and they can't trade almost half their roster freely. The Leafs are in hell. This is the worst position you could be in. You look, even the players that are coming up for contract extensions. It's not like you can really go out and say, well, at least we're getting a big salary off the board soon that we can use. You have Yarncroke's coming off next year. Okay, 2.1. Robertson might be getting a raise at the way he's playing at 1.8. Lawton, you're not going to get him any cheaper or any more than 1.5. Bobby McMahon's going to want more than 1.3. And then your defense, you have no defense. The only defenseman you don't have locked up is Troy Stetcher, and he's going to want more than 787. So the Leafs
lost tonight.
The Leafs are in complete hell. And I think, unfortunately, we have to accept until 29-30, a big change can't happen to this roster unless you can do something. I mean, Austin Matthews, his contract's up at the end of 27-28. Nylander is signed with you to 29-30. Unfortunately, I understand why everyone wants a major change. I get the frustration. When we go to the poll, right now, 50% of our viewers feel the Leafs have been the biggest letdown of the year. 25 say Winnipeg, 25 say Ottawa. And I understand everyone's frustration. You hear me. I'm usually Mr. Calm, Cool, and Collected. I'm very frustrated right now because everyone wants this team to make a change that just can't happen. So this is why I keep saying, if you're not happy with where the team is and the only thing you're willing to do is fire the assistant coach, stop going to the games.
Well, Jacob,
stop buying the jerseys. I don't know how Lane put a thumbs up on the screen like that. I mean,
well, Jacob,
this is how I feel about the Leafs.
Cool.
I would say what makes me more frustrated about
how are you doing? Yeah. That's cool.
So Jacob, what I would say
all around me are familiar
all of
faces.
this is that we're having the same dumb conversation that we've been having all year. And I'm like, this conversation is just, it goes in literal circles where like it all leads back to the same damn conversation. And it's like, it gets to the point where it's like, we're having the same conversation, but then it all leads to the same conclusion. It's that there's literally only 2 or 3 things this team can legit do this year. That's it. There's only 3 things. You try and suck bad enough that you get your pick back, which is not possible. It's just not. They're not going to suck bad enough to do that. 2, you fire Craig Berube, which is a thing that they should have done when they fired Mark Savard, which is clearly still not the solution to all of this team's problems.
I mean, the power play has been better.
And then first thing you could do is just the team just pulls up their big boy pants and plays like a bloody team more consistently and makes the playoffs. Those are your 3 options. There's nothing else you could say. There's nothing else to. Those are your 3
Adam
options.
froze
You
in anger.
or you don't do them. That's it. Those are your only options. Yeah. Frozen anger. That's all you can do. You have 3 options. That's it. That's it. That's done. Those are the only 3 conversations we should be having the rest of the season. That's it. I'm not having any more conversations about anything else but those 3 things from here on out when it comes to this stuff.
But you know,
all the other conversations.
We've heard from myself on this quite a bit. We've heard from Adam quite a bit. We've heard from Lane, who has moved into a hut. But we have not heard much from Mr. More for Your Money, who is nothing but love. Dan, the lover himself.
Yes, sir.
I'd rather be here than where we are in the snow. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
What are your thoughts on all this, Dan? Like, are you on Adam's side, thinking that they's got to pull up the big boy pants? Are you on Lane's side, they need to tank? Are you on my side, that there's nothing they could really do until 2028? Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thought, very interesting question. There's been a lot of good dialogue going back and forth. That's why I've just been kind of quiet here. But I look at it, we're 38 games through the season. 41's the magic number for me because 41's halfway through the year. And you look between halfway through the year and the trade deadline, you probably got about 25 games to go between there. But after the deadline, you got 20 games to wrap up the year, right? It's kind of how it works out. Actually, no, 41 games. So I guess it's more like 20. So you got 20 games between now and the trade deadline, basically, once you hit that 41. Everyone mentioned I have faith in Greg Berube because I think we're in a similar situation where we were with St. Louis with when he won the Stanley Cup. And as much as Hillaby allowed the second goal I didn't like, I kind of see a little bit in Hillaby as I did in Jordan Binnington the year we won the Stanley Cup. He's playing much better than expected. It's like what Nick Kipio said in the broadcast tonight on Sportsnet. He's like, last year, we didn't even know Hillaby had a future in the AHL. We had no idea where this kid was going to go. This year, he's played the most games for the Toronto Maple Leafs of 14, and he's played pretty well all of them. As Jacob says, the magic numbers are goaltending nowadays. Under 3 goals against average and over 900 save percentage and a shutout. Hillaby has all 3 of those things. So I'm not really commenting until we're past game 41 and until we're in January. At that point, that's when I'm panicking. If we are in the same point then as we are now, then I'll say, yeah, sell off this team, pay Austin Matthews whatever he wants to leave. I don't care. Sell it off. If we start winning at that point, we've won 2 games in the we won 2 games in a row, lost 1 overtime. So 3 games in a row, we've had points now. Okay. Mm-hmm. If we get another 3 games with points, I'm like, okay, now maybe we start looking at, okay, what pieces can we add to make this group better? We're missing a top 6 forward. Maybe we can move someone like Jacob said, Carlo, because of stature, whatever the point may be. But until I think we've been saying all year, we're too early to panic. Well, I think in 3 games, which I don't know what the schedule was that Jacob had up top of my head, but I think of those next 3 or 4 games, that's when we start panicking. That's when we start hitting panic button. That's when we start making hard decisions. And that's when we start having these conversations, because then these conversations will have more meaning to them. It's like, I'm sorry, I love no disrespect to Kelly Onklo, but why do you have a no trade clause? You got 4 points all year. I get it's a 10-team no trade, but why? Because it's not just it makes it more difficult for these players to move, it makes their trade value that much lower because the guys on the other side know, oh, well, they don't want to go with this team. They want to go with my team. So I'm not fighting with the other team to get you because I know they want to come with my team. So, like, what are we doing?
You know what, Dan? I actually think this is going to be, I think this is maybe a first at the end.
I think so.
I think Dan makes the most logical sense. That maybe we just got to wait another maybe 2 weeks, see where we're at, and then go from there. I am flummoxed. Adam is in so much shock that he has turned his face away from the desk.
No, I'm not having any more conversations about this. I said the 3 things I will have conversations about. I'm not doing any more conversations. I actually do agree with Dan, but that's the only other thing I will say.
Whoa!
3 conversations I will have. That's it. No more.
We have some breaking news.
Bull. I'm not doing
Dan
it.
and Adam, for the first time ever at the desk, agree.
Lane's off
I
in
think we
tropical land.
milked the Leaf conversation like a cow that's ready to give us milk.
Moo!
Why don't we go to some World Juniors?
Yes.
I
I'm
got
just watching his football game.
Yeah, it looks like the football game's pretty intense. I believe it's a tie game last time I looked. Yep,
35, 7 minutes ago.
Bears have the ball on the Saskatchewan. Wow, on the San Francisco 21. I'm a CFL fan.
Jacob.
Juniors, baby, you're a firework.
So since we're gonna start talking about maybe World Juniors now,
wave.
Hopefully, can I read the quote that I was telling you about?
Jacob, just so you know.
Oh yeah, nice.
I love Jacob. That's how I feel.
Too much love.
Too much love.
Too much love. Okay, here's the quote I was telling you about. So this is from Kayshawn Aitchison, and I think it's a good thing to bring up because if we talk about Finland, Latvia first, because this is a thing that I think will like flow into that game pretty well. So his exact quote was today. He said, "We're probably the most skilled team here, but hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard." We got the outcome that we wanted, but I think we definitely have another level of work that we can get to. Now, my point from this to the Latvia-Finland game is that when he was talking about how hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, it's a good segue to say that Latvia outworked like Canada so hard last night. I think they were fully exhausted. I don't think their goalie that played last night played again today, which makes sense. And I will say, I think a big reason why Finland ran over Latvia was because Finland dominated that game. They didn't let Latvia have a chance, which is what Canada should have done last night, but of course didn't because they allow Latvia to just sit back and defend the way that they defend so well. But I think because Latvia worked so hard last night, Finland were able to dominate as easily as they were able to dominate. And I think Latvia were just so tired from whether that was what Finland, whether or not Canada has regressed due to that result, or whether Latvia or that quote's really true, which I think that quote is fully true. And I do want to say, I think the quote is so true because Canada needs to outwork Denmark tomorrow. And I do fully think that quote is great.
Yeah, I agree.
I love that Kayshawn Aitchison came out and said that. And I do think it was a great segue into the Finland, talking about Finland's domination of Latvia today.
Quickly, too, pointing out San Francisco made a huge stop and the Bears kicking a field.
A near interception.
That is huge, man. Tell you one thing.
That's what Wilder was saying, too. He's watching the game as well.
Yeah,
that's
Wilder.
Really to avoid, especially after a punt.
Crazy. We may be seeing a real, whether or not it's a Super Bowl preview or some sort of conference finals preview. We're seeing some sort of preview for a playoff match coming up. But
I think so. We're both 11-4 teams.
They're both big.
But I will say, Adam, I do agree with you. I think Latvia was just completely exhausted.
I do have a gas to ask.
And I think Dan has a gas to ask that really leads
like
into our topic here. Yes.
I don't like this gas or ass because I'm worried about this gas and ass.
You know what, Adam? The good thing is this gives you 10 seconds to let out your gas from your ass. Gas. Gas. Or is it gas? Or is it ass?
Wait, Jacob,
Adam, I could see your reaction.
Jacob, how do you know that's what I do when that goes on? How did you know I did that?
Why do you think I put in sound effects at certain times? Come on.
Oh, that's a good point.
Okay, Dan, what's your gas or ass?
Number one, I gotta thank everyone who is with us at the decks during this best football game of the year. So thank you everyone for having us on. Even words is on the background.
Ooh,
thank you for having us on.
That's an NFC championship game right there.
You know,
I agree fully there with Sam. That is the NFC championship game I want, and I think we all deserve.
You know, so thank you for that. Looking back, I guess we should have started the show after this football game. But anyway, here we are now.
What can we do?
Gas or ass, though. After Finland dominating both their games against lower qualified teams, can we all say, and the other teams being so close, can we say that Finland's the best team in this tournament? Gas or ass?
I really want to agree with you, Dan. And I'll tell you, just wait a second. So I say that I'm in the middle of this. I know that's not really an answer to your question, but I want to I think we should save this for the end of the group stages. And I will tell you why. So I will tell you why I think that. Because I think that the determining factor for Finland, is their game against Czechia, which is their next game, and then their game against Canada on New Year's Eve. I think those two games will very well determine if Finland. I think Finland I think a lot of people wrote off Finland ahead of this tournament because of the players they do not have at the tournament. And I will say Finland are positioning themselves currently as at least my favorite to win the gold, just because I don't think Canada, I don't think the US, and I don't think Sweden, and I really don't think Czechia either. Czechia hasn't yet, for me, at least personally, have really separated themselves from everybody else. I think Finland have. I'm very interested to see how they play against Czechia in their next game and then Canada on New Year's Eve. And I do think Finland, I do agree. I think, Dan, if your opinion is that Finland is like the favorite, I would agree, but I don't want to say it fully, like outright fully yet until they play their next two games, because those are the two hardest teams they'll play. I do agree that they are positioning themselves. Not position, but positioning themselves in that way. Yeah, so good question though, Dan. I love this question though.
Thank you. I put this question up because I agree with you, Adam. It's hard to predict right now. The way I look at it, we play 4 games in the qualifiers and we're halfway through, right? And it's not just that they beat for lower teams. Yeah, Canada and US beat for lower teams too. They dominated. Like in Canada, Canada beat Latvia in overtime by 1 goal. Finland walked over and make nothing. But I want to hear Lane's and Jacob's points. Let's go with Mr. Daskell here.
For what? Sorry, Jane? Sorry.
Gas or ass, is Finland the best team going so far?
Probably. I could see that. It just
you think Finland's the best team in the tournament right now?
I could see that. Yeah, they just smacked Latvia.
Yeah.
So I will say this. I think Finland, out of the top tier teams, are the hardest working.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I think the big difference is I think Finland comes out with the same fire, whether they're playing Latvia or they're playing America.
Yeah.
And I think that is why, as of right now, Finland is the best team in this tournament. Will they win the gold? But I think
you had off a bingo card that Finland was the best team. None of us did.
Actually, no. I said going into this tournament that Finland was the team that everyone's sleeping on. That's going to.
That's true. You did say that.
Because what Finland does, what Finland does they are the New York Islanders of these tournaments. They are not the most skilled, but they have 4 really good lines, strong goaltending, and will outwork every single team in this tournament.
Chicago's beating San Francisco now 38-35.
Yes, that was because of the Chicago field goal.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm saying, though, like, I really feel with Finland, they just outwork everyone. Now, I'm not going to judge Latvia on their 8-0 loss today. Because I think they're just completely out of energy after the overtime game versus Canada.
Yeah, they had to back up goalie, and which makes sense.
Who actually, from what I saw, wasn't playing terrible. Like, he made saves. Latvia, though, they put themselves in a great position to make it into the quarterfinals. To answer your question, though, Dan, I really do feel that Finland right now, yes, but I'm kind of on Adam's side, too. I want to see them play Czechia and Canada and see how they stack.
Oh, I agree.
I'm more interested to see how Canada and Czechia come out versus those teams.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I don't even think Czechia played their best game against Canada. As much as it was a high-scoring thriller, I thought their goaltending was shaky. I thought they struggled with some defensive structure, same as Canada did. I'm really curious to see, though, does Canada and Czechia finally show what this team can really do when they play a team like Finland, who is a top-tier team with great goaltending, very fast, very physical. I love the way Finland plays hockey. Yeah, like, if I wasn't Canadian, if I wasn't a part of any nationality, I was one of those people who don't believe in countries, I'd be cheering for Team Finland. I love the way Finland plays.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but the player that I kept trying to remember his name that Finland's missing is Konsta Helenis. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that is how it looks. He plays for Buffalo, is AHL team, I think, at the moment. He was heading into this tournament as Finland's top offensive weapon, and they were missing them, and this is the way they're playing. So imagine them with Helenis. Like, this team with their top offensive weapon is probably even better than they are right now. Crazy to think about. But of course, 100%. There's always down to how they play, I think, against Czechia and Canada. Whether we see how we've seen Finland play, they are a big team and they are a hard team to play against, which is how Finland have always played at times. They are big, they are strong, and they play with their hearts on their chests. And that's a big thing for a bigger hockey country to play like. They play with their hearts on their chest, and I love that about them. So I'm really interested to see how they play against Canada and Czechia. And they're not.
Yeah, me too.
Can I also state what a game from Switzerland today?
Switzerland
they gave Sweden everything they had.
Oh, I got an Gasser ass.
Adam is getting in with the Gasser ass. Maybe he's just.
I thought he said ass. I'm like, okay.
No, I was just about
to say
Gasser ass. Damn it.
Well, let's get to everyone's favorite game show. Who needs the quiz and Family Feud? Gasser is ass. Or is it ass?
Okay, so my Gasser ass at the moment is Switzerland of the dark horses. Is Switzerland the most dangerous dark horse team at the World Junior Championship so far?
I'm going to say gas, even though they haven't won.
41-38. Let's go.
Touchdown San Francisco. Wow, what a
Juwan Jennings.
Brock
game.
Mother trucking Purdy, who's very purdy. I'm going to say gas with you, Adam, because I feel as much as Latvia has the 1 point, I feel with Switzerland, they against Sweden, they didn't actually look like the lower level team. Like, they looked comparable. Right? They look comparable against Slovakia, who gave Sweden a run for their money. And I think Switzerland, I would say either Switzerland or Slovakia, if you're going to put Slovakia in that same category.
Yeah, I would put Slovakia into the dark horse.
And I would maybe give Slovakia the slight edge over Switzerland, because I think Slovakia is a little better. But I'm still going to give you a gas on this one, Adam, because I think this is a take that, like, I want to stand behind with a picket sign. protesting in front of a random street in Burlington.
So
What are your
Jacob,
thoughts on this?
I will say I do think Slovakia is up there, but I do like, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I think Slovakia and Switzerland are right there next to each other. But just because we were talking about Switzerland, I did want to ask the question.
Dan is typing fiercely. I think he's looking up all these stats to try to figure out his answer for the Gasser app.
Yeah, exactly. He's really getting into it.
Well, I don't have a fancy light up keyboard the way Jacob does, so mine actually makes noise. But I'm going to say I love your thought, Adam, but I'm going to say ass because I agree with Jacob. I think Slovakia is the country that no one's really thinking about. I think that team is really underrated. What do you think, Lane? Gasso asked with Switzerland being the best underdog.
I think it's actually Czech. Well, I think it's Czechia is still pretty good, but I don't know if
they're not a
underrated,
dark
but...
horse, though. I wouldn't say they're a dark horse, though. They're a contender.
If Latvia would have won today, I would have said Latvia, but I mean, they still could be, but I mean, losing today didn't help.
You know, Latvia's not a bad take on that, though, because they gave Canada all they had when they're starting goalies in net. That kid's insane. They have a player that's projected to be drafted in the top in the first round for the first time in years.
Yeah, let's not forget that Latvia's goalie, if you guys missed that last night, he was the MVP of his league's finals last year. The MVP at 18. At 18 or younger, he was the MVP of the championship series. The winning team is just insane.
That is, and you're saying an MVP too. Isn't he in a league of like adults?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in like the top league in Latvia, I think.
So like you got to look, he's playing. So Latvia could. Lane just had to peace out with everyone, guys. He's feeling a little under the weather, but was trying to be a trooper on the show, and we always appreciate Lane Dashco for his.
Yeah, all love Lane.
Yeah, he was there for us over an hour. He missed last night because he wasn't feeling well. The fact that he even came on was pretty incredible. So thank you, Lane, for everything that you do. You're very,
but I
very
think it is
dedicated to the
Sorry, Dane. But I do think it's an interesting discussion. Switzerland and Latvia, I do say, are those two. Sorry, Slovakia, Switzerland. Slovakia and Switzerland, I think, are just above Latvia. I do think Latvia on a one-off game will do it. But I do think those two are the most dangerous of the opponents. I think they're the two most dangerous sides, I would say, at least in my opinion. But
you're gonna get well soon in the chat.
Oh, thank you, Sam. Yeah, isn't that nice?
But yeah, I think the only thing I'll say with Latvia is they play a style that I think does really well against some of these top tier teams.
Yeah.
Like we saw against Canada. Yeah, they didn't have it today against Finland, but I think they were just exhausted. I'd be interested to see. I still think the dark horse though is Slovakia. I could see Slovakia actually medaling this year.
I don't know why I would see Slovakia as an underdog. They're a good team.
Well, let's also remember that Latvia almost beat Sweden last year in the World Junior quarters. It was 3-2 in that game, and Latvia could have tied it late. They had a 5-minute major late in the game against Sweden and could have won that game. Like they were close to tying that game and heading into overtime against Sweden, who went on and played in the gold medal game. I think Latvia don't get enough credit for one-off games.
And they won bronze not that long ago at the hockey championships too. You know, the one
2021.
That's not that long ago.
They beat Canada, and then I think Canada went on to actually won the tournament that year.
They did, but still, Latvia's they beat the States in the bronze medal game. That was
of course, that was also behind Mr. Sam Montembeault. Canada won gold that year.
And that was the year they had. That was the year that a star was born in Shilovs, who is now the starting goalie in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
but
Arthur Shilovs.
That's what I love about some of these more obscure hockey tournaments. Sometimes you see some incredible players. You know,
that's why I love this tournament.
That's why I love the World Juniors.
That's why I love this. That's why I love this sport. You see these great moments, and it's cool when your country wins, but I think it's even better. Like Denmark getting bronze in 2015. These moments you see, in these tournaments for a lot of these smaller nations are just as cool. I was so sad that Canada lost last year, but so happy for Latvia because that was such a huge moment for that country.
It was pretty amazing
moment for hockey for them that I was so happy for them while also being sad for Canada. But it's like
100%.
I'm glad when there's more competition, because I think since Canada won 5 straight, the only teams to win it back to back are Canada and the United States this
In the
tournament.
US, yeah.
Yeah, Canada and the US are the only 2 countries to win this tournament back to back since Canada won it 5 straight times. Like, it's crazy to think about how much more. I think even when Canada and the US win the tournament is still like Slovakia nearly beat Canada in 23. Like,
Yeah,
there's so
pretty
many
much.
good moments, like Slovakia knocking off the United States in the World Juniors at one point. Like, there's a lot of moments that is so cool to see in this tournament that you don't get to see at the men's level a lot of the time when the big boys are playing.
Yeah.
That, like, these types of tournaments are why I think this is the most wonderful time of the year. It's why I love the tournament. It's why I love this time of year.
It's the
100%.
most wonderful time of the year. Hey, Lane, hopefully you're feeling better. Sam sends you all the love. Adam, I've never seen Adam give anyone
The
a heart.
the heart.
Yeah, Lane, maybe you missed me if you had to walk away for a second, but I just said thank you to everything you do because you're so dedicated to the whole family on the decks, to us and all the viewers. And thank you, Lane, for everything that you do for us. And, we give you a lot of credit. You're on with us for an hour, 18 minutes tonight. Yesterday you were feeling sick, but thanks for everything that you're doing, bud. We appreciate you.
I think Dan's simping on Lane.
No, I'm nothing but love tonight.
I kid. Dan doesn't know what simping is, I can tell.
Dan
never played Among Us. He was never sus in the vent.
I like that one, Jacob.
Dan, were you ever sus in the vent?
Was suspicious in the vent?
Sus in
the vent.
Do you not know the game that's from?
No.
Oh, the Frozen 4 is so much fun.
Do you think the Frozen 4 could one day?
That's college. That's the.
I don't know what one. I don't know what one. It can definitely one day after I accuse Dan of being.
So Jacob, I think he's talking about like the Frozen 4, which is like the
next World Junior kind of caliber.
Oh, that's like the NCAA tournament.
Actually, you know what? I would actually like to watch more of the Frozen 4. I've heard it's
the Frozen
phenomenal.
4 is so much fun. Like I've
heard it's really good.
I think Michigan State. I don't remember if Michigan State won it, but I do know they went to the final, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think the NCAA could
oversteps the juniors with the elite CHL players. I love the Frozen 4.
Yeah, the Frozen 4 is. I followed it. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch enough of it, but I did follow it, and it's always so much fun to watch. Like the moments that happen, like Johnny Gaudreau with his game winner in the Frozen 4.
That's right.
Like there's so many phenomenal moments from that people, I think, because it's so much bigger kind of in like those colleges for the United States, but it is so much fun because like you see all these great teams, like even like teams like St. Cloud, like you don't hear of St. Cloud University outside of like the Frozen 4 when they compete in the Frozen 4 because they're good in hockey. Like you don't hear of a lot of these small colleges that play in the Frozen, that play hockey and they make it to the Frozen 4. Like you don't really hear of that, of these colleges on any other sport but hockey. And it's so cool to see them come out and to like watch them play. Like I think that's always cool because you always see the fun moments.
Yeah, I gotta wonder. It could be, especially with all these top players not picking to go the CHL level and taking, I forget the word, but taking the money and going to the college.
The NLL deals.
Probably?
NLL.
That's
NIL.
Yes.
NIL. There we go.
You know what, Adam?
Name, image, likeness.
Fuck.
Just name, image, likeness, Jacob. That's all you need to remember.
Like when you see more players taking that money and going for those contracts and going to the colleges and university, the Frozen 4 could easily end up like a mini Stanley Cups or like a World Junior caliber.
So I'm curious then, do we see someone like TSN picking up the broadcasting rights for the Frozen 4?
I think TSN cover. I think TSN do cover some of the.
I think we covered the final game.
I think they do. I think they cover like the final four.
The final of the Centennial Cup, but like
I think they cover the final, like the final game.
A whole tournament that's being broadcasted on
Maybe they don't.
TSN.
I'm not sure because Sam just said
saying
no.
no.
But I wish they did. That'd be so cool if
I
they
know they
did.
That'd be
don't
cool
now,
if
but
they
I'm
did,
saying,
for sure.
will they? Also,
more
will
Canadian players
NHL
go.
have to find a way to get those players in the game?
Ooh.
Oh, now mind you, I do wonder, will we get a Frozen
in
4
the
video game?
NHL, like in the EA Sports games. Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
they should do.
Sports.
They should do a college hockey game. Like I've been
I
wanting
would
a
play the
Frozen
crap
4
out of
hockey
that.
game for so long. I've been wanting that for so long. That'd be so
I
cool.
I already don't sleep much, if people know me, know that. I would sleep even less.
That'd be so much fun.
Adam's like, I can't wait to see Jacob even more sleep deprived.
No, oh my gosh, you gotta stop telling me this stuff though. You tell me
I
too
was
much.
ruined college football. That in the transfer portal.
Oh yeah, no, it
Ooh.
has.
Welcome,
has.
Chris,
NIL
back
is
to the
making it
decks.
So much worse. I would agree to that. I think NIL has ruined college football. Like their transfer portal. Now, I'll tell you this because I'll give you a good example of what. And I don't think NIL has ruined this, but like the transfer portal has ruined this. Is that I'll give you an example. So Ole Miss, who just won their first college football playoff game ever, they lost their coach Lane Kiffin to LSU. And he had to leave a week before the playoffs started because the transfer portal starts the week before the playoff, or like starts during the playoffs.
See, that makes no sense to me.
So the coach has to be there before the portal opens so they can recruit players. And so Ole Miss lost Lane Kiffin, their coach, before the playoffs. Now they ended up winning that game, but they lost their coach. And it is just so, it's like the transfer portal has ruined everything.
No, but why don't they just make
So
the
bad.
transfer? Like, by the way, I'm going to state this right off the hop.
Because that would
Sam,
mean the NCAA has to be kind.
No,
And
but
the
why
NCAA
can't
are
we just have the
mean.
transfer portal start after the playoffs are done?
Well, Jacob, that would
Like
be
that would be
make
like, hold on,
sense.
that would be like free agency starting in the first round of the playoffs in hockey. It's stupid.
So, Jacob, do you see how like what you're saying
No, I don't see
is
anything.
everybody else's opinion? I know, sorry, Jacob, but like everybody, what you're saying is like everybody else's opinion. Everybody
He
else
can
thinks
move the
exactly
baby.
what you do, except for the NCAA, who don't apparently agree with you.
Well, let me speak to the
So funny.
NCAA. Give me their phone number.
Yeah,
I
it's
can be
so
very
funny
persuasive.
because that's what every college football fan thinks. Like like all of them hate this.
What's
Like,
but
nobody
mind you,
likes
it's kind of as dumb as the MLB doing their draft in the middle of the season.
Yeah, that's true. It's the
That's just
academic
completely
calendar.
idiotic.
Oh, I forgot we did that. That's
It's
strange,
like,
too.
we're here for game 69, and oh, we got to
Jacob-
do the draft.
So Jacob, a big reason why the transfer portal is where it is because of it's because they have to get there for the next academic, like the second half of the academic year.
Then move the whole semester. College football is
Like,
more
it
important
just-
than
Like
education.
it's dumb, but that's why they have it there. And nobody likes it, but that's just kind of why they have to do that. It's really dumb, but that's just kind of how it works.
You also
in
have
college
to
football.
work around the academic calendar, which is what Adam was saying. But you know what? You know what I say? Screw their education. Who needs it? They're gonna be football stars. No, I'm kidding. But I'm kidding. But there has to be a way to make this make a little more sense that we're about to get in the playoffs and he's gone to Mississippi. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. I don't like the season. Like the only way would the season starting earlier. Yeah.
Mind you, that's a conversation we've had about the CFL if that season should just start sooner. By the way,
Yeah, I think
Bears
it
with 40 seconds left, down a touchdown, are at the San Francisco 26.
Yeah, they're closing
Holy
in.
cow.
It's getting intense.
What a game that's been. Like, I only watched
Wow.
some of the first half, but like,
Yeah,
holy
I've just been watching the second half. It's been like cracking games so far.
I'll be watching on my other desktop.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. I
Dan,
love
that's called another window, not another
it.
desktop.
Yeah,
Oh, another window.
We've been teaching Dan technology. It's not going well. But
yeah, I can tell. Oh, they almost sacked Kayla Williams there.
man, Caleb Williams is an interesting guy. Has a really low completion percentage, but wins a lot of football games.
Yeah, it's because he throws a lot of
Deep.
throws a lot on the run. It's really
Not many of
like-
those elite players in college have to consider academic anything. That's an
Yeah,
That's what Jacob's saying.
That's so true.
I was kidding. They should still care about their studies.
But you got Wonderville, right? I
The
think you
thing
and
is,
Chris
they
have a
have to
good
score
point,
a
Jacob.
touchdown, though. Like they're down by 4 points, Chicago. So it's touchdown or nothing
Touchdown or
for
bust.
Chicago.
Yeah, literally, it was
They,
4
they
points.
can't hit a field goal and try Like they need a touchdown.
They need a tutty.
Caleb
Oh,
Williams,
oh.
gotta give him a lot of respect.
They barely got. Oh my God, they're a 4 and 5 right now. They're about to go to because they just dropped a pass.
There's the game right here, basically.
Ooh, that was intense.
The live
And you know
betting
what's so
odds.
funny to me is Robert Saleh is the defensive coordinator for San Francisco, who sucked as the Jets head coach. It's so funny to me.
Oh, that's
The
funny.
Jets just suck again.
Yeah, the Jets.
The
Are bad.
Jets have always been bad, but
I know.
Caleb Williams had a nice game today, though. So was Brock
He did.
Purdy.
Oh, Brock
What a
Purdy's
game from
nice
Christian
one.
McCaffrey, too. Good Lord. I love
Love
it.
McCaffrey
him
is
too.
like a beast.
I still think he's the best running back in the NFL, and I get statistically he's not, but I still think he is.
I
Derrick
still love
Henry's
James
a
Cook.
monster
I know
for
I'm
like
Bills
his age.
biased, but
For Derrick Henry's age and the miles he has on him, he is a very good. And like not a lot of
Derrick
running backs
Henry is like
last
a
as long
Toyota.
as he has,
yeah,
especially the way he plays, the style in which he plays. Like it's crazy. And like San Francisco
runs
doesn't have
over
George
people.
Kittle. Like
yeah, Kittle's amazing too.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I could see San Francisco making it all the way this year.
There's
Yeah,
so
they're
many
really good.
teams. The Super Bowl is wide open this year.
It really
Yeah.
is, which is
good to
exciting. The
see.
Bills
I love to see that.
Bills losing today, though, they cannot win the division anymore.
But well, I think the NFL needed
Not in the
this
playoffs.
because we were talking last year how the NFL was starting to get boring and the whole Taylor Swift thing and Travis Kelsey thing and everything's
Well, they
fixed to
needed
get the ratings and the bettings and blah, blah, blah. So the NFL's like, okay, forget about everything in the past 5 years. We're just going to make it a free fall and see what happens. And we're going to get football because of it.
Jacob, I agree that like football needed this. Like the NFL badly needed a season like this. Like a very
100%.
competitive year.
Now
Like
the
are the
NFL
Bills?
needs.
The Bills are gonna be a wild card. Oh my God, they just converted.
Ooh.
Wow, that
All
was
the
a
NFL
wide
needs
open
now
pass.
is to make more games matter in the final 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Because
Like,
there's
I
way
think the
too many
NFL
games
season's too
left.
short.
There's
I
way
think
too
we
many
need 2
games in
more
the
games.
NFL. There's with 2 minutes left, you're changing.
well,
the
they don't
channel.
need more games. Like they already have enough.
We
games.
do. This is incredible. We need more games.
But Dan,
They
you want the
just
season to
added an
make you feel
18th
like you
game.
wanted more, not like it's a drag. Like the baseball season's a drag.
That's true.
The NFL season, you're always
Yeah.
wanting more. This year
I
in the
agree.
NFL is like the
Oh.
NHL '93. Yeah, it's
That's true.
I will say it's been one of the better NFL seasons in recent memory. I've
That
made it pretty
93
clear at
season
the
is probably
desk,
the best season in hockey.
and like
One
I've
of
made it
the
pretty
last
clear at
30
the
years.
desk that I'm more of a CFL fan than an NFL fan. But this NFL year has been exciting. The NFL wants to remove a preseason game for one more week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Of course they do.
Be great.
Of course they do.
The thing was, CFL is 18 games. NFL only has 17. Why not have 18
Yeah.
games?
I thought they had 18 games, but I think
No,
they're
they have
adding
17.
18 games soon. Yeah, they
Like,
just have 18 weeks. I think.
17,
Oh,
good number.
whoo, Caleb Williams just threw it away. Ooh.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm
Adam's
gonna just be
aggressive.
commenting on this every so often because this is like 21 seconds left. Really intense.
Yeah, Dan and I don't have TVs where we are.
I have it on my
Dan has
phone.
a TV, but doesn't have cable. You can clearly see his TV.
I have my TV, but like I'm not watching it on my TV because my TV box does not work right now. I'm watching it on my phone. Look,
I'll just keep searching the Sportsnet thing. Wait, God, refreshing it. Keep refreshing it.
backup monitor.
There we go. That's how we can stream games live. Adam just holds his
just so you
phone.
guys this.
Oh, drops back to pass. Oh,
Oh,
first down.
Yo, yeah, they have
There.
no more timeouts. They have no timeouts.
Oh no.
Oh no, they have no timeout. Oh, 4 seconds. Oh my gosh, they had no timeouts there too.
So
Whew.
Did they?
They got
just-
one play.
Did they spike the
It's-
ball?
Yeah, they have no more. They have this is their last
Yeah,
play.
Adam,
They have
final
4
play. You got to
seconds
hold your
left.
phone up because YouTube's not flagging us for it.
Okay. We're gonna
It
do
will
it.
be.
It's backwards. Wait, I will only show when the play starts. I'll only show when the play starts.
I will say the Bears. What a turnaround from last year to this year.
Yeah, amazing. Caleb Williams, holy boy.
Let's just hope.
It's
they
like-
I do
don't-
agree with you, Christopher. I do prefer the CFL game to the NFL. It's more, in my opinion, it's faster. It's more
Oh, here we go.
exciting.
Here we go. Last play. Damn. Sam just wrote it for me. Oh,
What is Williams doing?
oh, that was bad. That was so
Oh.
bad.
San Francisco
We
wins.
risked it. Dan, Elaine, we risked it. Okay, we won't talk about it anymore. We risked it. We're not going to talk about it though. Lane, shh.
Lane, don't be a snitch. Snitches get not stitches because we're not violent at the desk, but you'll get a. I won't share my Excel mints.
Shh. We were not going to talk about it.
What a game!
That was crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So
that last play there, the second last play where they just couldn't get, they had no time.
38. We gotta go back. I would have predicted that score.
No, you didn't.
I remember one I predicted for.
I think we predicted it. We predicted it high scoring. But I don't think any of us did 42-38 though.
I will say there's one play where San Francisco were able to stop the Bears and limit them to a field goal, and that's what won them this game.
Yeah, literally 100%.
That's what won them the game. So big shout out to
No, Christopher, don't say that. You're gonna jinx it.
What do you
Don't
say?
say that.
copyright
say that.
strike on the way, boys.
Christopher,
You know what?
don't
You
say
know
that.
what? To watch the final play with my analyst desk family, it was worth it.
The risk was not worth it. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that.
I told you to do
Yeah,
it.
Jacob, you shouldn't have let me did that, man.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like, what are you doing?
Let's see if we
Oh,
get a
that's
strike
great.
for it. Time will tell.
Let's
was
see.
fun.
Yeah, just stop talking about it.
That was funny. So
They're
we
not, are
talked
they going to
some
really care
NFL?
about us, though? Are they going to really care about such a
They don't really care about us.
Hey, do what? We've been on a huge trend the past month or so on our YouTube page. So thank you so much, everyone. We've gained over 35 subscribers this past month.
Look at all these
And our
subscribers.
views are just flying like crazy. And our likes too, and our comments even after the shows are live. So like what Jacob was saying, we had to get over 50 subscribers to get to the next algorithm so all of you can find us. That's what happened. Now we got to get 100 subscribers to get the next algorithm. So if you like us, even share with your friends and families. And
You don't like us. You think we're idiots. Make fun of us. I don't care.
yeah, that too. You know, but thank you everyone
for having a bald spot. That's fine. Right, Dan? That's fine.
I need my box.
I kid, Dan. You know I kid. Make fun of me for being overweight. I don't care. As long as you watch the show.
Always old, too, because he likes to call himself old.
I am old.
And I'm perfect. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm just perfect.
Wow.
Perfection. There's nothing.
Adam,
There's
I
nothing
work
wrong
with
with
you. We both know that's not true.
Oh,
Out. Out.
I'm perfect. Perfect. Let me live that fantasy, Jacob. I'm perfect.
So now,
Welcome back to the desk. Anyway,
now that game is over, so we talk about some NFL this weekend.
we did have some interesting NFL games today. Dan, for some reason, and I'm curious if anyone can tell me why, desperately wanted to watch the Giants versus the Raiders.
Why would you
Every
want
time I
to?
put
The
on
Giants
something
just handled business like it was nothing.
He was like, "What's going on with the Giants and the Raiders?" Well, the
The
Giants,
Raiders are getting their asses kicked.
the
That's
Giants
what
kicked their
happened.
ass.
Yeah, the Raiders suck. The Raiders are so bad at football.
The
Bills and
Giants
Eagles
dominated
was
that
boring
game.
until it
Wow.
wasn't. Bills and Eagles was boring until it wasn't.
Yeah, that last minute, Josh Allen. Holy
However,
cow, bud.
I have a gasser ass about the Beagles.
The
Ooh,
Beatles.
Bills
The Beatles.
versus the Eagles. Gasser ass. That missed throw by Josh Allen is why he's not put in the same category as Patrick Mahomes. When you need the one big throw, and that game could have made it so you could have a chance to win your division. And he did not get it done. This is why Josh Allen is not in that same conversation as Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes in the key moment makes that throw. Josh Allen, I love him. My favorite player in the NFL. That's why they're not in the same category. Is that a gas or is that an ass?
I'm going to say ass on your comment. I agree that maybe Josh Allen is not in the same category of Patrick Mahomes, but I don't think it's because of one throw he missed in
I don't
2-point
mean that throw in
conversion.
general.
I
Dan,
think
but
it's because he hasn't made it to a Super Bowl yet. Give Josh Allen the chance to make a Super Bowl. I don't think he's going to disappoint.
He's got plenty of chances.
No, because the NFL favored Mahomes and Taylor Swift.
Dan, they didn't all. The Taylor Swift was not always. Didn't stop using that as an excuse. You're like the '93 Leaf fans all over again.
I am a 93 Leaf fan.
At the end of the day, the Bills blew a lead with 13 seconds left in a playoff game.
No, they
Yeah.
never had the lead to begin with. They came back
No, Dan, I'm not talking about that game. You're saying as a whole. As a whole. Do you not remember? I was living in the Sioux. You were living in Barrie. I don't know where Adam was living because I didn't know him yet. I'm gonna guess still.
Oakville, probably. What year was this? Tell me what year it was.
About 4 years ago when the Bills and Chiefs, the Bills took the lead off a Gabe Davis touchdown with 13 seconds left.
I was in like, oh no, I was in my second year of college. This is the Chiefs Bills game. I watched this on TV because that was on my birthday.
But what I mean is it's between tonight and other moments like that is why Josh Allen, when people put him in the same conversation, I say he's not. And absolutely, Sam, the Bills defense did blow that. But at the end of the day, Mahomes is the one that made the play to do it. But when I say this, by the way, I want to make something very clear. I can't stand Patrick Mahomes. I don't like him. He's a phenomenal quarterback. I don't like him personally. I love Josh Allen. If he wasn't getting married, I'd marry him. I don't even swing that way. I do it anyways. But at the end of the day, there's a reason why Patrick Mahomes has multiple Super Bowl rings and Josh Allen doesn't.
So that makes me laugh, Jacob, when you said that. You said, I don't swing that side, but if I did.
That's me and William Nylander, if we all must know. But
by the way, Sam said ass to my comment.
Sam agrees with me. Christopher agrees with you, Jacob.
Adam, what's your thought?
What was just say the question to me again.
Gas or ass, because Josh Allen, between what happened today and what happens in other key moments, is the reason why he is not compared to Patrick Mahomes and is not at the same level.
Yeah. I think it's more so that like when the big moments come, Josh Allen, I don't think it was just like, I would agree like today, probably like the big moments when they've come. I won't even fully blame Josh Allen because I don't think it's always him.
It's not always.
I think it's also a big portion on his team as well. But like when the big moments have come, Josh Allen has not stepped up. Maybe he just doesn't have the ball in his hands, maybe not, but he hasn't stepped up to those moments yet in his career to be in that echelon and be in that conversation.
It's kind of it's like the Brady to Peyton Manning argument until Peyton Manning got it done.
Right.
Josh Allen is the Peyton Manning to Tom Brady's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I can see that.
But now let's get back to a question earlier in the show.
I like what
Christopher.
Yeah.
What do the Dolphins do with Tua now that Evans won? Oh, Tua's gone, in my opinion.
That's a great question.
I think they have to
get him out of here. Get him out of here.
I think he's had too many opportunities to win in Miami, and he can't stay healthy.
Right. Now, I have a question. This sounds crazy, but if Tuguewa is done in the NFL, which I think he is too, could we see him make a comeback in the CFL? His brother was a backup in the Ticats in the CFL for Hamilton.
No, because I think somebody would pick him up. I do think like Tua is very talented. And I do think somebody, because of how talented and how talented he has shown he can be, somebody would pick him up. But I do think
I could see the Seahawks.
No other option. I think he would go to
Raiders. I could see the Raiders giving up on Geno Smith, and maybe you just do a straight swap, Geno Smith for Tunga Tuga Loga.
Yeah.
I thought the Raiders for Geno Smith was such a great move this offseason. It just didn't work.
But I'm saying, no, like, guys, and this is maybe I have an unpopular opinion.
Football in Texas. Huh.
I don't like, Adams doesn't like my opinion so much he's ran away again.
Oh my God.
But I don't like college players becoming starters right away in football. I think it's too hard to go from a college system to an NFL system that quickly. Ooh, we're seeing more of Adam's microphone.
That's not what I meant to do.
But I just feel like bring in Geno Smith to give this kid an extra year to get ready. I'm not saying is Geno Smith going to win a Super Bowl in Miami? No.
I don't think so.
He's not that great. But you bring in a Geno Smith to just bring in a little bit more. Adam, Sam loves your shirt.
Thank you. The shirt is awesome. I got it at an Argos game. I went to these two hooligans. These two hooligans.
Oh, that's the Drake one, the OVO shirt?
No,
it's
the Bills,
The
Argos.
Buffalo Argos.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah, great shirt.
No, I didn't buy that shirt. I don't think.
Yeah, I didn't buy
that was the free shirt.
Yeah, this was the free shirt.
Guy, good arm, not great throwing on the run. Do the Dolphins land Lamar Jackson?
Whoa.
He would love to play for the Dolphins.
I don't think they have enough.
This is another year of disappointment. Is it time? We all say, is it time for the Leafs to move on? Is it time for Baltimore to move on?
But
no, because they can still win against Pittsburgh. I hate to say it, but they can still win against Pittsburgh and get the whole thing.
But even if they win and they make the playoffs, I don't think that's good enough for Baltimore.
I don't think the Dolphins take Tua, though, like in a trade for Lamar. That's the issue.
Well, I think they're just going to cut Tua.
Yeah, they probably do it. They're trying to get. If they try and go after
Give
Lamar,
me the safety scissors.
I can definitely see that. That could be interesting.
Yeah,
Sam
actually, so we know Sam's going to be Sam's joining us for a bit of a hot take segment tomorrow.
Dope. That sounds like fun. Can't wait.
It's going to be
very exciting. Sam has a whole new perspective that Jacob and I don't, more so what Adam has when it comes to
what are you calling me? Are you calling me young? Players. Are you calling me too young here, Dan? Is that
no, that's not what I'm saying. I was saying like you and Sam know more about college sports than Jacob and I.
Dan, did you not see what I just did there?
No.
Instead of saying you guys are too old, I'm like, am I too young? Which was, I'm so surprised neither of you started laughing.
That's funny.
I did something so ridiculous because I'm all, yeah, that's it. I agree, Sam. We know ball.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. So that's going to be great having Sam on the show with us tomorrow. So that's awesome. Looking forward to that.
But
sorry.
I'm just a real good. I don't know. I don't know if Baltimore goes to the Dolphins, but I could. I mean, Lamar goes to the Dolphins.
Baltimore game.
Well, that's the whole game. Like, who else does Lamar? I guess.
I could see the Orioles moving. Orioles, wow. The Ravens moving on from Lamar.
So does do the Raiders have the first overall pick next summer? Currently,
I think so.
As it
stands? I think so because they suck.
So trade proposal here. Raiders trade next year's pick, Geno Smith, and then maybe like 2 or 3 more first rounders, and go and get Lamar Jackson. Like just trade anything you can to go out and get Lamar Jackson. I
know it was the wrong sport, Sam. It's 11:48 at night. But yeah, I could see them moving on from that first overall pick to get Lamar Jackson.
Orioles. That's baseball.
You know what's true? The Baltimore Orioles suck too, so maybe they need to get a football player.
That's a good point.
And he'd be a good base stealer because he's fast.
Oh my gosh!
But
that's hilarious.
It is interesting though for teams like. Nobody wants trash can Geno Smith. Did we not say the same thing about Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield a couple years ago?
Yeah, but Geno Smith has been so bad.
I heard that the Raiders are looking to move Crosby.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I heard that too.
Crosby? No, I'm kidding.
No. But I was just going to say,
it's just, we all said the same thing about Sam Darnold. We said the same thing about Baker Mayfield. Sorry.
Yeah, but I think the difference is, Jacob, and I will say this: Geno Smith had some good years in Seattle.
That's great.
But I think the difference is that Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold have both found teams that are willing to build around the style of quarterback, like the style of quarterback they are, and are willing to like fully invest in that and get them the weapons. Like the Bucs had their already built-in weapons there for Baker and built their system around Baker Mayfield. And I think Seattle did a good job about building their offense around what Sam Darnold needed to succeed this year with them. I think Seattle done a phenomenal job at it. I guess it would be the real question is that whoever does get Geno Smith, he's traded this offseason, can they build a system around Geno Smith that allows him to thrive like Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold has? I think Geno Smith, it's too late in his career for him to do that maybe.
Okay.
I thought Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold's careers were still, like, they still had the potential to be that. I think Geno Smith has just like killed a lot of that this season. He has just been so bad. And the Raiders have a lot of other issues than at quarterback.
Yeah, Chris kind of saying the same thing here. And yeah, I think the Raiders, I think Baltimore and the Raiders, there you go, just swap entire teams, then the Raiders will be
better.
I think
great coaches.
Then they can drop game-winning catches in the end zone like Baltimore.
Just a couple of things I want to point out. I think with the NFL season.
Oh, yeah. Baker was so much fun.
I love Baker Mayfield. The guy's an animal. But go ahead, Dan.
Great dude. Like, I think of the NFL season being so wild this year and so many unpredictable, so many bingo cards happening in standings and stuff. I think we're going to see a very busy off season, which is unusual for the NFL. So that's really exciting, number one. Number two, I think we're going to see some big moves both from Detroit and Minnesota, because both those teams were predicted to not just make the playoffs, but make a run for the Super Bowl. So I'm not saying it's old Goff's fault, but can you see them moving on with Jared Goff? Can you see Minnesota maybe bringing in a veteran to help their rookie out, right? Like, I think these are all things we could very well see happen.
I could see Minnesota potentially getting another quarterback because Minnesota, I don't know if JJ McCarthy's ready.
Right.
The only thing is, I thought the same thing about Caleb Williams. And so maybe, but I really think McCarthy would benefit being a backup for even half a season. So maybe you bring in a Geno Smith, which I get you guys are saying he's trash, but I mean, he did have some good years in Seattle. Let's be honest, too. The Steelers are probably looking for a new quarterback next year. So I think Old Man Rodgers is done after this year.
That's another one. Oh, you got to look at it. We all
go make the playoffs.
We all loved Daniels last year. He didn't have as good of a season. He had a little bit of a sophomore slump this year, right? And Caleb Williams really excelled this year, but Oh,
welcome to the show. I believe we have a new viewer here at the desk.
Yeah, welcome.
Let's go. I am not a fair weather fan. But yeah, hey, you know what? The Vancouver Canucks, they're an interesting team. They went on a real tear when they traded Quinn Hughes. Yeah. Now they've started to slip.
Well, but PD's back. PD was back.
Right? I'm interested to see, and Vancouver is one. Like, I was really surprised by Kevin Biesca's take, basically saying Vancouver was done when they're 6 points out of a playoff spot right now.
Yeah, I don't think we're done yet.
I thought Biesca, in my opinion, there is not a single team yet that is out of a playoffs that is realistically can't make the playoffs at this point.
I agree with you.
And I think Vancouver, if Demko can get on a run, anything is possible. Likes to do.
Boston, this one's for you.
Except be Vancouver, this one's for you. This one's also for all the suckers who still don't believe in love. If you know that song. No, you guys don't. By Real Big Fish.
Why have we turned to suckers?
This was for all the suckers who still believe in love. This one's for you. Oh, but another comment here.
Lefty all around.
The Canucks have very little heart and emotion.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So is that because I'm curious here? We got this from a Canucks perspective. We were arguing the other day about the JT Miller situation. Was JT Miller the heart and soul of the Vancouver Canucks?
I think he was.
No, I don't know. Because
I think Kevin
I feel
Biesca is right, but I sure hope not. It is tough now that you lost Quinn Hughes because that guy wasn't. Don't worry, I know we have some comments from Chris and Sam too, and we will get to them. But I do feel that losing Quinn Hughes, you did lose the captain, and I don't think we don't have any Captain Phillips guys just going to go, I am the captain now.
I feel like losing Hughes hurts more than had them losing JT Miller.
Oh, I agree 100%.
I don't think JT Miller hurting, like I think they were already bad last year, where losing JT Miller just didn't really change anything at the end of the day. And then like losing Quinn Hughes, like I think woke the team up a little bit, and then now they've kind of fell flat after that trade. But like they got some good young pieces out of that trade. Like if Pettersson could be playing better, that could be another player they could try and trade to get some good pieces back.
Yeah.
But I guess it all depends on what Vancouver's plan is now. I don't really see what their plan is at this point.
I don't think anyone really sees. That's a tough one to predict.
Because I think it will be interesting to see what they do heading into the Olympic break now and heading into the deadline, like heading to the Olympic break and then heading to the deadline. I think will all be interesting.
Unfortunately, for last in the league right now.
But Dan, their last 6 points out of a playoff spot. So
that's the crazy thing. It's so tight this year. 6 points. Like it's only 3 games. Anything can happen when Timothy goes to school. Like,
and I heard he didn't skip today.
I love
he didn't skip. Like, I still got some great pieces. I love Jake the Bucks.
What's interesting here, about the comment here, I don't think so. JT Miller was part of the heart and soul, but not the heart and soul of the team. They don't have one.
Wow.
Comment.
That is dark. That is so.
Man, are you sure you're not a Leaf fan?
Man, that is a depressing look at the Vancouver Canucks.
But you know what? It sucks at Vancouver because they went on that one run back when they had Markstrom and Demko as their 2 goalies.
Oh, that was nuts.
The future looked so bright for Vancouver. And kind of like the Leafs, they never really got that potential to go as high as they wanted to.
Yeah, unfortunately, because they have some good pieces for.
Also, since anyone who is here in the chat and haven't voted on our poll yet, we do have a poll question on the YouTube side. Who is the biggest letdown this season out of the Leafs, Jets, and Senators? Maybe I should have added the Canucks in there, but I can't now. If I did, I had to end the poll. Right now, we have 44% for the Leafs, 33% for the Jets, 22% for the Senators.
So I never gave my answer. I want to give my answer on this, Jacob, if I can. I want to say it's actually, I think the poll is wrong on this one. I think there's a lot of bias in this poll, as a lot of these people are probably Leaf fans. I would say when you look at last season, because I think it's important to look when you're answering this question, is to look at last year and look at Winnipeg. Like, what were Winnipeg last year? Winnipeg were the best team in hockey last year with the best player in hockey on their team. Like, based on just last season, Hellebuyck was the best player in hockey, in my opinion. He was just very dominant for Winnipeg in the regular season. And I just think their fall off this year makes them more disappointing than Toronto. I don't understand how you could say Toronto. Like, I can understand you being disappointed in Toronto, but there was a fall off coming from Toronto, whether you like it, whether you wanted to hear that or not. It's true. It's always going to come. Maybe it wasn't supposed to be this big, but Winnipeg's is much bigger. When you think about what they were last year in the best division in hockey, in one of the top heavy divisions in hockey, like they've fallen off a bloody cliff this year.
I would have voted Winnipeg if I was going to vote.
I think the poll's gone there completely wrong.
And see, I have a different take than both of you on it. And then I want to get to some comments here. We have some comments about the Canucks, some comments about CFL, comments about the Vikings.
I say we don't have.
I actually say out of these 3, I say the Ottawa Senators. Because I thought they finally turned the corner and they finally made that jump. And we were finally going to have Ottawa pushing. And I thought they'd be better this year and be actually pushing to win the division. And they're just not. They're not getting the goaltending. And again, I sympathize for Almar, and I hope his family situation and whatever's going on in his personal life is fine. So I just always assume family, but it might not be. But I don't just mean him. I mean the whole team. Shane Pinto went on such a tear to start the year.
He really
all these games without Kachuk, even with getting mediocre goaltending. And now they're falling deeper and deeper out of a playoff spot like the Leafs and the Jets. But you knew when the Leafs and the Jets were so good for so many years in a row in the regular season, eventually they'd have to go the other way around. I thought the Ottawa Senators were starting to complete the climb, the climax, if you will.
It's the climb.
And they just aren't getting there. And I think that's what's really disappointing and letting down their fan base because they were so close. But let's get to some comments here. Not depressing, just reality at this point in time, but doesn't mean someone like Brennan, which is the guy they picked up from Minnesota in the trade, can't take the reins and be the leader. But he just turned 20 and will need more time. I actually think if you were going to trade Quinn Hughes, you got a lot for him.
Oh, he did. It's a good trade.
I actually was surprised how much you got.
Yeah.
Considering Quinn Hughes didn't even say, he's like, I might not stay in Minnesota. Oh,
he's all like, we don't know he's going to sign in New Jersey.
JJ is, as much as I love that dude, is not good enough making throw decisions quick enough. That's why I think he needs to be a year.
Yeah.
Well, this has always been his weakness, is his passing game. Like, I think when he has a really good running back, like he had at Michigan, Michigan's running game was really good when he was there.
Who's the running back in Minnesota?
Especially when he won that natty, like their running game was phenomenal. And when that was working and he was able to make decisions a lot quicker, he was good and he was solid, but he didn't pass a whole lot in Michigan's offense. It's the same way of what Harbaugh is trying to do now at the Chargers. Is Herbert's supposed to be passing less, but which didn't turn out to be what we ended up doing in the playoffs last year, which is really weird.
Yeah.
But if like the Vikings running game, well, the Vikings have just been a mess this year, to be fair, but maybe I'm just wrong on how good Vikings run game has been this year with him there. But
also, anyone from Ontario, good morning.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, it's midnight again.
Following on Dan's comment, read Tua in the CFL. Why don't we see more ex-NFL players who've been cut trying the CFL, i.e. Chase Claypool, Joel Theismann, treated the CFL like a training camp until ready? This is interesting, actually, and I am surprised. Like, we're going to get into the political side of him, but like Colin Kaepernick, had the BC Lions were interested in him when they were looking for a guy in between before Nathan Rourke, and he had no interest in coming here. But if he tore it up in the CFL, he may have had a better shot of getting back into the NFL. Now, I'm going to say 100%. This, though, and I wonder if it's because these players are kind of afraid they're going to come to the CFL and just not be able to do it. And if you can't compete at the CFL level, the NFL is going to look at you. If you can't compete there, you can't compete here.
Yeah, you got to wonder. I mean, Ricky Williams is the famous case I remember. He had his personal issues, left Miami, came to the Argos for a year. I think he's he had a phenomenal year in the Argos as their running back, and he gives Pinball Clemens credit for saving his life, right? And then he went back to Miami after and continued to tear it up. We've also seen Aaron Rodgers comment that if he doesn't go back to the NFL next season, and he wants to continue playing next season, but no one in the NFL signs him, he wants to try in the CFL. Rather, if a CFL team will give him a chance, because the CFL is very competitive for quarterback right now, I don't know. But you look at Halalahu, I'm sorry I'm saying your name on, who's the kicker for the Argos. He played in the NFL quite a bit in between his two stints with the Argos. So we do see a little bit movement between the NFL and CFL, but I would like to see more of it, right? Because
look at Stiggers too, a guy that
prime example,
wasn't drafted, came to the Argos, won Rookie of the Year, won a Grey Cup, has moved on and played for the Jets and has never looked back. And I will give him credit too. He shouts out the Argos all the time in his social media. And Sam, you are right. Aaron Jones is the Vikings running back. Thank you.
Yeah.
Or the last game he wasn't their leading rusher.
Michigan is built on running football.
Michigan is built on running.
But
Yeah, that's their that's
I
what-
still think for the Vikings, man, why didn't they just keep Sam Darnold one more year?
I know
When you still have so many talented receivers,
Seattle
you got
looks
a
so
guy that
good.
can sling the ball.
they believed in JJ. Clearly, they believed in JJ more than they believed that Darnold could do what he did again.
Well, you know what I think about that, Adam?
Well, it's true.
It was a mistake. I'm not
It was
booing
a
you. I'm booing the
mistake.
Vikings.
In hindsight, it was a mistake, but I could understand why they made it.
Adam, what do you think of Michigan's new football coach hire?
Oh man.
I think it's great. I have no idea.
I think it's the restart that they needed. I'm glad they didn't hire in staff. Like the guy that they brought in as like their interim guy was like he was very frank, which like I thought football and Michigan needed this past week, like with everything they've been going through. I thought their hiring, they did a good job being smart about who they hired. And like they took a decent amount of time to go. Like they took a little bit of time to go through everybody. I thought it was a good hire for them. Whether or not they would be good next year is still up for question about how that coach plans to use his roster, or if he even decides to keep a lot of these guys, or if he wants to keep a lot of these guys. Yeah, I thought it was the best they could hire, to say the least. I don't think anybody big was going to ever go to Michigan after what had just happened, especially after what just happened. Like nobody.
So, Adam, to make for our viewers who don't know college football, Dan and I, what happened in Michigan that you're talking about? Like, did they lose all their footballs? Did they run out of chocolate milk?
I don't think, Jacob, you don't know what happened?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, this is crazy. So their coach slept and impregnated his assistant.
Oh,
He had an affair with his assistant that he had
good
given a
Lord.
raise. He gave a big raise to his assistant. Yeah, he gave a big raise. He slept with and had an affair with his assistant. I think his assistant, she's related. I don't remember who she's related to, but she's related. He was like pretty. I don't remember who it was though. But like, yeah, he had an affair with his assistant, and then he threatened to commit suicide.
Oh, that's
no.
not good.
That sucks.
Or like he got after he got fired. Like had like a gun and he went to, I think it was either his wife or his mistress's house, and he like threatened to commit suicide or something. Like it was like crazy. I think he abused, I think it was the mistress as well. Like he had like it was a whole like bad situation. Like it was an all around like pretty big issue for Michigan, to say the least. Apparently Michigan had known about it for a couple months, but they were just investigating it. They've been known about it, I think, since like November, October, apparently, and they had been investigating it quietly. So like the Michigan's coach couldn't like basically get to anybody who would know anything about it. But yeah, it's pretty bad for Michigan. It's not great. Not after like everything that happened with Harbaugh before he left. Everything that happened before with their signal stealing scandal, and then this, like it's all around pretty bad situation for Michigan.
So this is making it harder for Michigan to recruit good talent, then, no?
Yeah, like I know they're
going to that crapshoot.
So I know that their players heading into the week before like their bowl game, because I don't think they played there. Yeah, since it's been bad for Michigan. Wow. But like I know their players before I don't think they've played their bowl game yet. But I know their players have now an open window to leave. Like they're allowed to transfer now. Like some players, but I think a lot of them have just decided to stay anyways because they don't want to leave, which I thought was interesting given everything that happened. Especially their quarterback, Underwood. I don't remember his first name. I'm so surprised he didn't leave given everything that happened. Okay, their bowl game's on New Year's Eve. Okay, yeah. But I think it's very interesting how Michigan. I'm surprised Michigan's their football, like the guy who runs like their sporting director. There you go, brain. Didn't get fired either because he knew about this. Bryce Underwood. Thank you, Sam. But I'm so surprised they're like the guy who runs their whole like all their sports team is not fired at the moment because he knew about this and then like took way too long to investigate it. Decided to fire the guy with no security or anything. Let the guy walk out despite him having just had this whole screwed up situation and everything. So it's an all around, like, Michigan have not handled, I think they handled it well once everything came out publicly, but like this is just another issue for Michigan in the last like 5 years that have just made everything worse.
Wow.
Made everything so much
Belichick. He already had someone.
No, that situation is
I
interesting.
mean, that's also a really weird situation. Apparently, his girlfriend's been like banned from the campus because like she was.
No, she wasn't. That was a lie. She's been like at games this whole season. She had been at games like the whole year. Yes, thank you, Ward Manuel. Yeah, he's been so bad as their athletic director.
Wow,
so bad. So bad.
I think Dan wants to say something. He has his hand up, being all polite.
Well, I just wanted to add to Lefty All Around's point there about Vancouver and everything. If you're new to the decks, a few episodes ago, when quarterway the NHL, we had a pre-recorded episode on our iHeartRadio and Spotify too.
On YouTube as well.
And on YouTube, so check it out. We discussed quarterway of the year, who was the best Canadian teams. And I said Montreal. Everyone laughed at me. Montreal is looking really good now. Jacob said Ottawa. So that kind of goes back to our poll, how Ottawa is such a big disappointment. And Lane said, Lane's our ever person who joins us, who's not here at the moment, but he said Winnipeg. And Winnipeg's another team on the poll that's done very bad. And I just want to thank you for joining us. And not to sound like a broken record, but if you or anyone else new to the show, if you could please subscribe to our channel, that's a huge help for us, as it helps us gain higher in the algorithm. It means we can reach more of you. So it's awesome that you're finding us. And I gotta thank everyone for the great comments. And if you could please like and share and tell your friends and family about us too, that would be fantastic. I just didn't want to interrupt the great conversation that we were having because so many great comments were coming in. So thank you, everyone. And we do have social media accounts too with shorter clip videos. So follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, all that fun stuff as well. And yeah, we do live shows quite a bit after all kinds of different sports we talk about. So please keep following us and please keep joining the conversation.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a fun day.
Yeah, look for exciting new topics to come too, right?
Yeah, Sam's going to be sending us a segment for us to talk about. We got more World Junior games. Sam says he's going to quickly touch on Michigan in his segment. Can't wait to see that.
Interesting.
And great too, adding Sam to the analyst desk family. I may need a bigger desk soon because we're adding a lot of people. But,
and little hint, there might be something more than just sports coming soon to the decks. We could be talking some automotive stuff, some gaming stuff, esports, music. Maybe Sam and Jacob will challenge each other in Rocket League. You know,
Sam will kick my button Rocket. Okay, guys, I am not good at Rocket League, but I will try.
All kinds of cool.
Last time I played Rocket League, I was living in Sault Ste. Marie. Adam loves it.
Oh my gosh!
Because it's just, I think you know what it is. I think Adam really secretly wanted to go to Sault Ste. Marie, and he's jealous that I got to live there for 4 years.
I actually the more you talk about Sault Ste. Marie, the more I never want to go there ever.
Adam, I'm going to take you there one day.
You're gonna take me there one day.
We're gonna stop.
Romantical. That sounds so romantic.
We're gonna stop at Echo Bay to see the giant loony.
Ooh,
which is a thing. Then we can go to Wawa to see the giant goose.
That's far away, bro. I've never been up that far.
Past the Sioux. Make sure you bring gas because there's no gas stations out that way. Oh, I could show you. Have you ever seen a bear?
No, I don't think in person I've ever seen a bear.
I have in Sault Ste. Marie.
Dan saw a moose.
God, Dan, really?
And a moose.
Never honk at a moose.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way.
There we go, Sam. I'm liking this. I'm liking this plan much better.
Teamwork.
Kyle Dubas does love Sault Ste. Marie.
Oh my God. Yeah. Sault Ste. Marie is where he fell in love with
But
hockey.
we have a lot of awesome content for tomorrow, and this does bring me to tomorrow.
What a chaotic day of
What game are we looking forward to here, boys?
Czechia, Finland. That's my
That's
game
the
to
game.
watch.
You know what? I will
Woo.
say this though. I could see
I'm pumped.
Slovakia giving the United States a run for their money.
Yeah, I could see that.
And you know what? Screw it. Don't be shocked if Germany surprises some people and gives Sweden a run for their money.
Sweden have had trouble the last 2 games against lower opponents. I could see it happening.
Wow.
Yes, Kyle Dubas would maybe he was married in Sault Ste. Marie.
Well, it's a Sheldon
Fun
Keefe
fact,
report.
if I remember right, I think I've met his grandma.
You've met Sheldon Keefe's grandma
Yes.
or Kyle Dubas's grandma? Which one?
Kyle Dubas, sorry.
Okay. I said Sheldon Keefe because Sheldon Keefe coached in Sault Ste. Marie.
Sheldon Keefe, Barry Colt's great. He was the head coach of Sault Ste. Marie. Yes, he was.
Yes. Yeah, Sheldon Keefe was a legend with the Bears.
Yeah, let us know too. We've been debating on. Let me put us back on.
Yes,
screen.
Jacob. We were supposed to do a poll on this, man.
Well, we haven't got to it yet.
Oh my gosh. Well, we should have done it earlier.
I was going to post it on
episode.
social media, but yeah, if anyone's interested in us doing some watch-alongs,
Email us.
We can't put the game on the screen for you guys, but we can give our great commentary.
Yes, we can't do what we just did.
No, we didn't do that.
We didn't do that.
No.
Oh man.
But let us know. I will be putting something up on social media in the next couple of days. Adam just became Austin Matthews again.
Yeah, I'm so disappointed in myself.
But yeah, let us know if you're interested in watch-alongs, and that's something we definitely want to look into doing.
Duels.
Yeah, Sam, I think definitely as a
yeah.
stream, we got to rock some duels in Rocket League. Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be
With
awesome.
Dan?
Dan
I'll
and
give it a
Rocket.
go.
But out of these games, guys, let's be honest, I hope Canada and Denmark, I really hope Canada can kind of just cruise through that game.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm not going to hold my breath because I thought they'd cruise through some other games and they didn't.
Yeah.
Czechia, Finland is the one I'm the most excited for.
I agree. That'd be a phenomenal game.
I think that's going to be the game of the day.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be a cracking game.
Oh, looks like Lane's joining you guys on Rocket League.
Lane wants to play some Rocket League on the channel.
Nice.
Let's go.
But well, look, I think you know what though? I will say this about the World Juniors this year. Any game could be a good game.
Yeah, 100%.
Because this year, even Denmark versus Czechia, Denmark was actually keeping it close for a while. So who knows? Right? Anything is possible when Timothy goes to school. Oh, Sam is seeing his new house tomorrow.
Oh, exciting.
Hopefully the new house all works out for you, Sam. You know what? Any house can be a home with the right attitude.
People. Damn it, Jacob. It's the right people. The right people.
Hell yeah! To Lane.
Give me a hell yeah in the chat.
Yeah, it is
Yeah, hell
basically
yeah.
car soccer. Speaking of
is.
car soccer, did you guys ever
Yeah.
see Top Gear trying to play car soccer with real cars?
That was awesome.
That sounds funny.
It's hilarious, Adam. We should show it to you later.
Yeah.
Actually, let us know if that's something you guys are interested too. Is us doing some reactions,
My reactions are funny. You
doing
should
some
all
reaction
want that.
videos.
You should want that. My reactions are the best.
I
kind
think
of
honestly,
reaction.
okay, so very off topic, but I was showing Adam the game called Super Seducer the other
How
day.
is this? Oh yeah, this is not off topic.
And I wished we were recording because I would have loved this Adam's reactions recorded.
That was so funny.
Actually,
And
if
mine
anyone
was
in the chat,
dangerous,
if anyone
almost
here
passed
heard
out.
of the game Super Seducer.
that game was
Obviously, they can't
crazy.
talk to me. I'm going to assume they haven't. That's something that I want to do on the stream if I can figure out how, because you can't buy the game on Steam anymore because it was banned. But
It was crazy. That game was wild.
it is a wild ride. But yeah, tomorrow we have some great World Juniors. There's obviously I can't remember the NFL game tomorrow, but there is NFL tomorrow. It is
Monday
the
Night
Rams
Football.
versus the Falcons. Should be an easy win for the Rams.
Yeah, I would think so.
We should have some NHL games as well tomorrow.
Yeah, Leafs aren't playing tomorrow.
Leafs aren't playing tomorrow, but we got a lot of games. Got the Capitals versus Panthers, Blue Jackets versus Senators, Rangers, Hurricanes, Oilers, Jets, Sabres, Blues, Kings.
Oh,
Avs,
do you know what
Flames,
is coming
Bruins.
up though? The Winter Classic in Miami, Florida.
January 2nd.
January
Actually,
Why was that
let-
not January 1st?
Let's talk about the Winter Classic. We've
No,
only been on for
Jacob.
2 hours and 20
Jacob,
minutes.
we've been on long enough. Let's not get into this topic just yet. This is a topic we should get into tomorrow.
But quickly, how are they going to do it outside in Miami?
No, it's Jacob. They're
Ball
in like,
hockey.
where the Marlins play, so they're inside a dome.
What?
That's why.
Well, how is that an outdoor game?
It's not,
But they keep advertising that it is.
Jacob.
No.
They're going to be playing at the Buccaneers Stadium in the
makes me
Panthers
sad.
game. I think it's the Panthers outdoor game.
That
Is
just
in,
seems pointless.
well, they're going to do it at the Buccaneers Stadium, which is even worse.
Oh.
In February. It's even worse.
Tory McGuire got bit by a spider. See me, it was a goat.
I'm the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
You know
It's
what?
in my name.
No Winter Classic game should be played in Florida. That's beyond ass.
I agree,
Yeah,
Sam.
Next year will be much better when it's in Winnipeg
Yeah, no, that's
at
the Heritage
Princess Auto
Classic.
Stadium.
Jacob, that's the Heritage Classic, not the Winter Classic.
Same thing, different name.
No, it's not.
You're not.
I want to go to that though. That sounds like so much fun.
My question is,
Adam, wait,
you wanna
Adam.
go
To get to Winnipeg, you have to drive through Sault Ste. Marie.
Jacob,
That's
then
true.
Jacob, would you come with me if I go? Would
If
you
I
come
could
to
afford
Winnipeg
it,
with me?
sure.
Yeah.
We could take the train.
Yeah.
it'd be a beautiful
No,
trip to go.
Because everybody
And if
knows
we
you
take
can't
Dan-
fly to Winnipeg.
No,
Winnipeg has
we
no-
could drive, and then Dan's gonna drive too fast, and then this will happen.
Yes.
I think it's meeting ticket Highway 17.
And then Adam will do this to Dan,
Yeah.
anger, and then I will just go to the cop and say, "You're
Yeah.
pulling us over."
This is true. This is true.
And
It
then
should
our
be a-
charge will be nothing, because our charming personalities are going to settle the ticket.
Yeah. The analyst desk road trip. We should do an analyst desk road trip.
Use Barclays bus.
Bring
Yeah.
the game. We do have to take a road trip to Belleville to visit a friend of the program. So,
Yes.
I thought that's the road trip we're going on, isn't it? The one to Belleville.
well,
That
we're
was
talking
nice.
Winnipeg now, but yes.
Oh, now we're talking Winnipeg. We
Bring
gotta
the
go to
game back
Barrie.
to Michigan
Go see a
State.
That was the best one, in my opinion. Michigan Stadium
Yeah.
one.
That was
Either
fun.
that one or the one at BMO Field, home
That's a good
of
one,
the Toronto
too.
Argos.
Yes.
Which Dan and my mother kept
I forgot
arguing
that
with
one.
me that there was no outdoor game at BMO Field.
I
And I
forgot.
kept telling them that there was.
Wait,
And then
what?
they looked at me
How do
like
you
I
not
was
nuts.
remember this?
I don't know.
It was the Centennial Classic.
I know. I completely forgot somehow.
Oh, Dan.
Dan's brain. Adam.
Dan, you silly man.
You know what, though? I think on that bombshell, we've been on for almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we've been on for a while.
Oh,
Did we
we're
talk
getting
about
another
all the NFL stuff?
100,000 fans for the Leafs Red Wings was so electric. It really
It
was.
really was.
I think we did, Dan, talk about all the games. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so.
We talked about all the
the
big
games
ones.
that mattered. I'm sorry, half the games were duds today.
That's true.
You know what it is? Dan desperately wants to talk about the Raiders versus the Giants.
Yeah, that's the game he wants to talk
All
about.
right, Dan, the floor is yours. What was so great about the Raiders?
Put
I
him on
don't
full
know.
screen, Yes.
I don't know.
Talk about it, Dan.
I
on,
just
Dan.
honestly forgot what game was on. I just asked him, "Yo, what NFL game's on?" That's all I
Yo,
said.
he kept asking me to put back on the football, and every time I did, it was the damn Raiders, and they suck. I'm like, Dan, why do you want to watch the two worst teams in football?
I don't know.
But
Right.
anyways,
I wanna watch
Sam,
entertaining football.
you did the throw perfectly. See ya, fellas, because we're gonna head
Yeah.
out for the night. We're gonna make like a baby and head out. Thank you very much for watching us at the analyst desk. And until next time, remember, when you're at the analyst desk, every day feels like game day. I'm the self-proclaimed sports analyst, Jacob Moore, joined by Mr. More for your money,
Woo!
got nothing but love, and Adam the GOAT. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.